If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations. With 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future, T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
The Cape Cod Baseball League back from All-Star break and into the business end of the season. Let's get it started. Let's get it locked and loaded. Each team is back and playing today, and they know the things that they have to do to get themselves into the positions they need to be in. And for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, well, it's just continuing what they've been doing. Easy, right? Absolutely. Welcome along, everybody, from Gov Fuller Field. Thanks for joining us here tonight alongside Jacob Irons and Mickey Doolittle. My name is Michael Kersing, and guys, isn't it just that easy to win a baseball game? That's what the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have got to be doing, and boy, they sure have made it look easy, if nothing else.
They've been doing a lot of it recently. 10-1-1 in their last 12. And guys, this is a team that is feeling good. And the vibe around the team seems to have shifted before the All-Star break, coming into the All-Star break. They expect to win. They go out there and they handle business. It's no longer every single win you're really celebrating. They go out there and they're expecting to win, and that's exactly what they're doing today.
However, I'm going to talk about the opposite side. I'm going to be a little bit of the pessimist. You had 2 days off. That is a little bit longer than what they've had all this year. They haven't had back-to-back off days. I was talking to Cole Vellis in Baseball Ops. What a normal person's weekend here for a Cape player is a very necessary break. So how do you keep that momentum through those 2 days is huge. And it started with the All-Star game for them on Saturday. You look at Cam Smith. You look at Elijah Hainline. You look at Nick Mitchell. 3 players that stood out in that game that scouts probably had their pad and circled because they played such a good role. So that's huge for them that they were able to build that momentum. And then yesterday, you just had a regular off day for the Hawks. They look to keep that momentum up, but they do have 2 days, so don't be expected if it's a little bit of a slower start than what we're used to.
Yeah, this is a team in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks that probably, of any of the teams here on the Cape, they probably wanted this All-Star break the least because they're riding into this, Mickey having just said, they've just won 10 of their last 12, so why stop what's already working? But, hey, this is the right time to get hot. They come back. They've lost a few guys, but they've kept the majority of the squad, and they look to be doing the same thing they were doing pre-All-Star break, don't they?
Yeah, they kept everyone for the most part. If you look at this lineup, just even the 1, 2, 3, you have Earhart, Smith, and York, so really solid.
And let's go as we send things to the national anthem to the fourth member of our team, Bria Lossick.
From Gov Fuller Field, I'm Bria Lossick alongside Cam Smith. And even though the team had the All-Star break, you were definitely busy on that day. You had an RBI single and represented the West. What was that like?
It was great. Just to share the field with all those guys, it was special. I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
One of those guys that you shared the field with was Jamie Arnold, who not only played with you here in Hyannis, but also back in Tallahassee. What was that like getting to share that with him?
It was awesome. We made some lifetime memories here at the Cape together, and I'm glad he got to share these moments with me.
It was kind of hard to ignore. There were a lot of people around in the crowd wearing some Cam's Crew T-shirts. Who are they, and how long are they up here?
They're all of my family members, and they're up here for like about a week, so they're going to be at every game. You'll hear them for sure.
Do they come to a lot of games back in Tallahassee?
Yeah, they try to make as much game as possible.
And then moving on here, after the All-Star break, before you were super hot, 8-1-1 in the last 10 games. How do you guys keep that momentum after the break?
We just keep swinging it and keep throwing it. It takes both of us, our pitchers and our hitters, to be this good. So we're good so far. Hopefully we keep going.
All right, thank you so much, Cam.
Yeah, of course.
Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much, Bria. And guys, it's just as we were talking about, very important just to be keeping that momentum on going into the what I said, the business end of the season.
Yeah, when you talk about it, and that's what you look at. Cam Smith had a great All-Star game, has this family in tow here at the park today for the next couple days. So keeping the business end, but also still keeping a little bit of the semblance that it is still part of the regular season right now.
Yeah, and only 9 games left, only limited amount of time to make that push. Of course, Hyannis just 2 points out of Katuitt right now for that top spot in the West, and they're hot. They're feeling good, so hopefully they can continue that streak into the next week or two and continue to push for that top spot and the all-important home field advantage.
Yeah, there was a lot of orange out at White House Field on that All-Star team for the Western All-Stars. Cam Smith, 2 RBIs. Brody Donay coming in the latter stages of the game, 2 RBI double to his name. And now just about continuing the same thing here against a bit of a, you'd say maybe when we go into the lineups, maybe a bit of a different looking Falmouth team. But as we've seen this whole season, underestimate absolutely nobody in this league.
Yeah, it's when you look at it in those lines, is that you have really solid teams, and that's what you just got to continue to build upon in these spots of just you have a big, great base. You had it, you built it. It's now about can you build it at the right time. So the base is there, but now with 9 games left, this is pre-postseason, which sounds a little weird, but this is how you're setting yourselves up for August. And when you flip over to the 8th month of the calendar season, that's going to be huge, how you set yourselves up in these next 9.
And yeah, Jacob, you just talked about it. It's getting to that point in the season where guys could be getting a little sore. You talked to trainer Tyler. Let's go back to past you. Who talked with trainer Tyler?
A little grueling at times, keeping up with everything, but get to be on Cape Cod watching baseball every day.
Yeah, there's nothing better than spending the summer on the Cape and enjoying baseball. So even when you have days that get a little tough at times, you just got to reflect back and think that you're spending the summer up in Cape Cod and enjoying baseball, and this is sort of the dream right here.
Is there a player that you've been able to form a connection with? I know athletic trainers are in the dugouts. You're part of the coaching staff as well. Although you might not be coaching, you are there every day, and you're able to interact with these players a lot.
Yeah, I think it definitely takes time to develop those relationships, and a lot of those day one guys, Brody, Trey, Cam, Ethan, all those guys who have been there since day one at the lab, just the more time you spend with them, the more you get to connect and get to know them on a personal level and develop that trust, what helps with treatments down the line.
The pregame show rolls on after this from Gov Fuller Field.
I like this music, guys. Let's get things started back here, pre-postseason time from Gov Fuller Field. Jacob Irons, give us those lineups. Get me energized.
Let's look at how the Hyannis stack up. Leading things off will be Zach Earhart out of Oklahoma State, the right fielder today. Cam Smith jumps up to the 2 spot, the third baseman, having an awesome All-Star weekend with family in town as well. Zach York comes in to be the first baseman today. He's in the 3 hole. Then Bennett Thompson A new guy and a new addition to the team that's making his Harbor Hawks debut today is in the cleanup spot from the University of Oregon. He's behind the plate catching. Elijah Hainline, the second baseman, another all-star that was featured, and talking to him pregame, he was excited that he had to have a good day to have a great day, in which he had on Saturday. Will Taylor, the center fielder, follows him. Then Brody Donay, the catcher, Hyannis' representative in the home run derby, made himself a contestant all the way to the finals. Then John Gazdar in the 8-hole, the shortstop today. And then Nick Mitchell rounds out the lineup. The speedy Nick Mitchell, almost doing a Trey Lipsy, second leadoff in that 9.
Yeah, and they will go up against Ryan McCarroll, the 6'4 junior from Wheaton College. He was third-team All-American by D3 Baseball, a 6'4" tall, lanky thrower that's going to come in with a 3/4 release.
So McCarroll toes the slab. He is ready, as is Zach Earhart towing the chalk in the righty batter's box. From Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts, it's the Commodores and it's the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and it is live. First pitch to Zach Earhart, up and away. We are underway 2 minutes early here in Falmouth, Massachusetts on Cape Cod at 5:58 p.m. here on the East Coast. Here is the 1-0 to Zach Earhart. It's a fly ball, left center field. Ranging to his left is Gavin Turley, and he puts away a quick out number 1.
Yeah, McCarroll's going to throw fastball, slider, changeup, and I'll tell you, that changeup is ridiculous. When he gets it going, he is one of the most untouchable pitchers in this league, but defensive alignments will come after this pitch.
Guy who can touch up quite a few pitches regardless of what they throw is Cam Smith. We'll talk about his all-star game in a minute as the first pitch, there it is, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Outfield goes left to right, Turley, Humphreys, and Tab Tracy. Infield on the left side is Hall and Bazana. On the right side, it's Darnell and McGregor. And then behind the plate, it's Janik.
Dipping in right at the knees. Quickly 0-2 on Cam Smith. This is a familiar face and a familiar park for Cam Smith on one of his few leadoff appearances of the year. He smacked a solo shot on the first pitch of the game as the 0-2 goes low.
Yeah, and Yannick, the catcher, was a Conference USA defensive team.
Here will be a 1-2 from McCarroll. Winds and deals, swung on and missed. Smith down swinging, quickly 2 away. Good quick start for Ryan McCarroll here from Gov Fuller Field in the top of the first.
And finally, Falmouth has retired Cam Smith in the first inning. It feels like every time he comes up, either it's a homer or gets on base against Falmouth in that first at-bat.
Up steps Zach York in the 3 spot today. We've been seeing him a bit out of the cleanup. Takes the first pitch at the letters for strike 1. Just making sure that's where his strike zone is. Him being the home plate umpire, Marvick Gomez. As here's the 0-1 to the Grand Canyon product. It's outside. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, York coming into today's ball game batting .365, 19 for 52. A really solid hitter in the box that provides a lot.
Dunks in, 1-2 the count. I always say about his professionalism in the box. Shift him, well, he'll just take it to the opposite way. He's just showing such a good bat in his little time here as the 1-2 just outside. Count is even at 2. Came in at a time where Hyannis needed a few platoon guys. Well, from platoon to automatic starter, you can't leave this guy out of the lineup anymore. As here is the 2-2 outside. He's worked the count full.
And it's about consistency is what everyone loves about York, is you know what you're getting out of him time and time again.
Here's the payoff to York. It's popped up in the infield. Who's going to get it? Darnell in. Bazana calls everybody off, comes in and puts it away for a quick first inning for Ryan McCarroll. 1-2-3, go Hyannis. Hawks nothing, and the Falmouth Commodores coming to bat right after this.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. Let's go to the bottom of the first inning as Darren Horn warms up. Hey, Mickey Doolittle, give us those Falmouth Commodores, please.
They're going to lead it off with the Boston College product, Barry Walsh, the second game with Falmouth in the DH spot. And leading off, Travis Bazzana, the Australian, hitting .320 on the year on Cape from Oregon State, hits second. He's playing shortstop. Walker Yannick, the 2023 WAC Tournament Most Outstanding Player, catches tonight and hits third. Tyler McGregor, All-CAA second team, hits cleanup. Nathan Humphreys, Conference USA defensive team, plays center from Dallas Baptist and hits fifth. Gavin Turley from Oregon State plays left and hits sixth. Sean Darnell, the second baseman from Wallace Community College, hits seventh. Caleb Hall, the third baseman from North Greensville, hits eighth. And rounding out the lineup is Tab Tracy, a guy that Hyannis has been familiar with all year. He plays right and is from the SEC and Texas A&M.
They'll go up against Darren Horn, one of the leaders in RPM, comes in from Coastal Carolina with a 3.29 ERA, but it's his off-speed that to be one of those top pitchers coming out of that draft because it's the spin he's able to really get on the ball.
So Horn comes in, and as you said, out of Boston College, Barry Walsh leads things off as the first pitch in on the inside corner for strike one. 337 in 20 games as the leadoff hitter for the Eagles. As Darren Horn winds and deals the 0-1, slap to right field. In comes Earhart to make a nice sliding catch. So now, even showing off the defense as well, it's been something that Hyannis has looked a lot better in doing, is making their defensive plays, and they go and show it straight from the get-go here tonight with Zach Earhart.
They have came from bottom of the league in defensive rating and errors to the middle of the pack in the last couple of weeks. They've looked really good and cleaned up a lot of their issues.
First pitch to Travis Bazzana in there for strike one.
Yeah, comes in at .967 fielding percentage, which ranks 5th in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
0-1 at the knees, quickly 0-2. Horn working with some rhythm.
Horn, a product right now of the pitch clock. Him and Bennett Thompson already on the same page.
Good block from Bennett Thompson behind the plate. That ball went about 57 feet. Bazzana soon to be sharing the infield with today's second baseman for Hyannis and Elijah Hainline at Oregon State. I wonder how jarring that is to the ears of Mickey Doolittle as the 1-2 misses. 2-2 the count.
It's not jarring, it's just wrong.
It's not jarring enough. I don't like hearing wrong things. Here's the 2-2
well, that's one of them.
Here's the 2-2 to Bazzana just outside. Count is now full on the Australian.
Now Horn here with a full count. You don't want to get him on early.
Winds and deals back up the middle. Will Taylor has to move about just one step in to put away Bazzana. So 2 hard hit balls, but 2 outs for Darren Horn. Doesn't matter how you get him.
Yeah, no, it does not matter. If you're able to make contact and you have the defense behind you being able to make those outs, that's what matters. And outfielders right now and everyone looking for some shades as the sun's coming in from the third base side poking over. So anything to the right-hand side of the plate, you're going to hope they have shades on because it is a bright sky today.
And the first pitch hits Walker Yannick. So he gets on with 2 away. That brings up Tyler McGregor.
And that's dangerous because this is a Falmouth team that loves to run the bases. That's not really something that you want to be doing throughout the night. 64 stolen bases. That's good for second on Cape as a team.
So McGregor steps in with Yannick aboard and 2 away. First pitch chopped. It hits McGregor's foot at the plate. So we'll do it again. 0-1 the count.
Thompson the catcher comes in behind the plate, opening debut, and that's something everyone raves about. Is the Duck is great defensively in his ability to watch the game happen in front of him.
Pitches outside. You see so many catchers become managers at the big league ranks. They just have such a mind for the game, and now that he's slotted in behind the plate, the Duck clearly showing his knowledge for the game as he has just been activated today. As here's the pitch at the knees. Now 1-1 the count.
Missed with a changeup in the previous pitch, came right back with it in that second, in that 1-1 count. And now does he go back to it?
That count is now 1-2. Horn's working too quickly for my eyes as the 1-2 is low. Now 2-2 the count.
81 misses low below the knees, and Horn's got to remember he's going to set the tempo. This is always the first inning is the pitcher's inning. How does he want to respond and how does he want to create it?
2-2 just outside again. And now the count full on McGregor as Yannick will get a head start from first. So 2 quick outs, 2 hard outs for Darren Horn here in the bottom of the first. He hits Yannick on the first pitch, now has McGregor in a full count, and the pitch is sent foul, third base side out of play.
Yeah, so Yannick getting a couple steps up early and getting over there in time, because you get the full count with 2 outs, everybody's going to be motioning, and Yannick's a guy with speed, so if he's able to get this down in McGregor, could prove dangerous for the Hawks.
Here's a 3-2 to McGregor. Upstairs, and McGregor works a walk. So 2 on and 2 out for Nathan Humphreys here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, good location right there, just on the upper corner of the plate. A 50-50 ball that Marvik Gomez rules a ball.
So now 2 on, 2 away for Humphreys, the center fielder. He's a left-handed hitter. 2 quick outs for Horn. Now has a bit of adversity to work through in that first as the first pitch went low. Always talk about how you want that first inning to be quick because it's where the pitchers seem to struggle with just finding a bit of a release point, as there's a strike on the outside corner.
And once again, still Darren Horn, this is his inning, nothing crazy that you have to try and feel like you have to be worried about.
Runners off first and second. The 1-1 to Humphreys, swung on and missed. Now 1-2 the count.
It's a great pitch right there, just dove out of the zone. Downward movement on that.
Humphreys, the lefty, stands in ready to face 1-2. Horn deals, and it's popped foul third base side, and it makes its way to the seats with a clang.
Hit the light pole.
Mm-hmm. Will producer Josh Schreiber go for it? No, he sits back down as a kid runs and gets it. So it'll be a 1-2 again coming to Nathan Humphreys as Darren Horn sets. Looks back to second and deals. Looks to go to that off speed again with all that speed and spin. But Humphreys lays off it, now 2-2 the count.
Yeah, when you are able to work that outer part of the zone, that's going to be key there for Horn to see how far he can get him off the zone to try and get him to chase.
The 2-2. Fly ball third base side out of play once again. Good battle working from Humphreys.
Yeah, Humphreys doing a good job so far battling. 226 coming in to this one today in a West Division clash.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on here in the bottom of the first from Gov Fuller Field. Here's the 2-2 upstairs again. So Horn has gotten ahead of the last 2 batters, and he's worked them back into full counts.
Yeah, credit these Commodore hitters. They're doing a good job of staying disciplined, laying off some tough pitches. It's not like Horn's throwing non-competitive pitches in 2 strike counts. He's putting them where he needs them to be.
Both runners will go from first and second as the payoff tapped weakly at the plate, and it trickles foul as Thompson will pick it up on the grass. And we'll do it again.
Do it again full. Horn laboring here just to try and find himself out of this bottom of the first. We've talked to Horn and how he likes to prepare very much. Tries to tunnel his pitches to the best of his ability to come out and set the grip behind his back.
Here's the 3-2. He got him looking on the inside corner. So Horn works around the hit by pitch and the walk and leaves two stranded. We're through one, no score from Gov Fuller Field.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Let's go to the second as Hyannis are set down in order in the first. It'll be 4, 5, 6 in the form of Thompson, Hainline, and Taylor due up here in the top of the second.
Yeah, get to see Bennett Thompson for the first time today out of Oregon. Like we talked about, his defense really speaks for himself, but a really solid hitter as well in the box. That's why he's found himself today in that cleanup spot for these Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, a guy that's more than capable, has a great glove behind the plate, but also, with the bat in his hand, is a very dangerous hitter. So leading off this inning, I like that. And then he handed over to Hainline and Will Taylor.
Yeah, batted .340 for the Ducks this year through 33 games played, and then was part of the Bend Elks in the West Coast League earlier this summer, played 15 games for them, batted .184 Wood Bat League as well. So comes down to the Cape Cod that he's able to build upon, which he started on the West Coast, brings it to the East Coast and to the Atlantic.
Bend, Oregon, home of the last blockbuster in America.
That's where it is?
Yep.
I knew it was in Oregon. The first pitch to Thompson is upstairs. I didn't know that's where it was, though. I knew it was somewhere in Oregon, but there you go. We're educational here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. First pitch, or the 1-0, beg your pardon, to Thompson, catches the outside corner.
They have a little work. The outer part of the plate there as Thompson gets adjusted to Cape Cod and how it all happens.
Pitch is low, now 2-1.
Especially for Thompson coming in, you already have a large majority of the team formed, and there's a large group that has already been here, but he comes in already assimilating quickly.
It's on the ground to short. Bazana fields and throws in time to retire Thompson for out number 1. Now you say that, Jacob. How important is that this team is on such a good run of form right now, having won 10 of their last 12? That's what Thompson gets to slot himself into now.
Yeah, that's huge, because then you also bring up the guy behind you in Elijah Hainline that's from the same Pacific Northwest area, able to bring that friendship, already seeing it at the Turtle today.
Way upstairs as Hainline pulled back a bunt, now 1-0.
That you're able to, once again, that you're able to come in and be a plug and play, but you're plugging and playing on a great team. I have to imagine it sells itself sometimes.
Upstairs again from McCarroll, now 2-0 on Hainline.
He has a sizable hole back up the middle. If he's able to just ground one back towards center field, he'll likely get a hit.
Swing and a miss from Hainline, now 2-1. Was one of 5 Harbor Hawks on the field at a certain point during the All-Star game in Harwich on Saturday. And, of course, they had to wear the orange alternate, you could say, Cape Cod Connect jerseys as the 2-1 catches the outside corner, now 2-2. What a great day that was for the All-Star game. Had the home run hitting contest, saw Brody Donay, and the All-Star game represented by so many Harbor Hawks out there as well. As here's the 2-2, swing and a miss. Does fall, but Hainline just makes his way back to the dugout anyway. So a swinging strikeout, down goes Hainline, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, Donay fared pretty well in the home run derby, making it all the way to the final round. Ended up losing in that one, but is one of the better power bats on Cape. And it's interesting to see in that home run derby how much a pitcher affects how well a hitter can do. Donay certainly had a good pitcher.
As here's the first pitch to Will Taylor in there for strike one as Donay awaits on deck.
I forgot to ask him who his pitcher was. I'm sure it's someone in the Harbor Hawks organization.
Surely.
I should have asked him, but I completely forgot to. I'll get back to you on that.
Sure. 0-1 to Taylor, waved at and missed on the slider. Quickly 0-2. Donay also made his impact felt, a 2-run double in the 8th. Cam Smith had 2 RBI of his own. As here is the 0-2 to the Clemson Tiger in the right-handed batter's box. It's upstairs.
Good take from Taylor. A pitch that a lot of hitters like to chase, that high fastball, 88 miles an hour.
Does a good job to stay disciplined and work to the zone.
1-2 chopped foul to Hyannis' dugout. No one can come up with it in the dugout.
And it's easier to try and play to a wider zone at times, especially as a batter, especially when you're in the 1-2 count. We got 2 strikes on you want to try and go, but stays disciplined in how he feels the zone is reading.
And there's your outside pitch right there that Taylor saw coming, and he just had to stave it off with the fastball on the outer half of the plate. We'll do the 1-2 again.
An ultra-defensive swing there, just fighting it off, able to stay alive for another pitch.
Exactly, protecting the zone.
1-2, grounded to third and just outside of third. As third base umpire Joe LaBella was right there, looked close, but called foul in the end.
Yeah, Joe LaBella, Marvick Gomez behind home plate, and Ryan Demare at first base today for your umpiring crew, rounding things out on the 3-man crew today on this Monday night and gorgeous night in Falmouth.
Here's the 1-2. He got him. Taylor punched out looking. 6 up, 6 down. Good start so far for Ryan McCarroll. We're through 1.5. No score here in Falmouth on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Been smooth sailing so far for Ryan McCarroll. Now time to go back to Darren Horn, see if he can set down these next 3 in the form of Turley, Darnell, and Hall. Could be in for a pitcher's duel. We've talked about it almost every game, and of course the one game we don't mention it seems to be a pretty good billing so far through 1.5.
Yeah, through 1.5 so far. It looks like it's going to be pitchers battling it out, but once again, still early. Still got a lot of baseball to be played here before we start making any conclusions. But so far, hitters have succumbed to the pitchers maybe with a couple days off.
Gavin Turley will lead things off for Falmouth. As Horn's first pitch had Turley completely fooled, yet he still gets a piece of it and sends it back behind the screen.
And sends it over to the Falmouth police station here with the rec department really nestled in downtown Falmouth.
Whoa, there goes the bat into the screen and on top of Hyannis' dugout. Want to talk about fooled, there you go. As Turley now quickly behind 0-2. Haven't seen that one before, at least in person. You see it a few times during a season, but that one really went flying, and they're trying to figure out how to get it down from the dugout now.
It's going to require a little bit of rolling. Oh, they got it through the net, so they're going to have to bring it over into one of the spots, but and we'll bring it, going to open the gate here.
So with the help of a fan and the help of baseball ops Mikey Lucario, we're going to be able to get Gavin Turley his bat back. Here you go, he says. Ops Mikey the hero, as Gavin Turley reunited with his bat, now 0-2.
0-2, maybe.
Get a little more pine
Yeah, I was
tar
going to
on
say,
that one.
make sure grab up on the top of that barrel there. Make sure you're able to grab it and make sure those hands are a little bit more firm on it.
Here's the 0-2 to Turley. Ripped and fair down the third base line and into the bullpen it goes. Turley rounds first. He's digging for 2. He'll stop right there as it went out of play. They'll hold him to a double. And after all of that, after the 2 first swings where Turley looked to be completely fooled, he was right on that one and leads this one off with a double.
Yeah, just a soft line drive that got over the glove of Cam Smith, who full extension leaped as high as he could but couldn't quite get to that one. 82 miles an hour off the bat and just sliced into the painted line down that left field line that signifies out of play.
Sean Darnell lines one into left center. Over is Mitchell to make the play. That's a good first out for Horn on that first pitch to Darnell.
And that's a big call by Joel Labella, saying that it went out of bounds as he was turning to go to second, rather not instead that he was turning to go to third, because it's at the umpire's discretion, one of those calls of where he feels like the runner is in the motion of going.
That's where you feel that those conversations between managers and umpires at the plate at the beginning of games are really important. As here's the first pitch to Caleb Hall. Did he go? Yes, he did. No even need for a appeal down to third. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, the way that rule works, if the home plate umpire doesn't think it's a swing, he can appeal down, but it has to be asked for. But if he does, it can't be overturned.
Chop to Horn. It gets past him. Hayline fields and throws wide, and it'll hit off the screen into the dugout, allowing not only for Hall to advance to second, but it allows Turley to score, who advanced on the play. So a bit of sloppy defense allows for Falmouth to break duck after the All-Star game, now 1-0 to the Commodores.
And Commodores able to get on early here. That's a big thing for them. They're 10-3 when scoring first on the year. But now still only 1 away with a runner in scoring position for the Commodores.
So now Tab Tracy steps to the plate. He is the 9-hitter. After this, the lineup turns over to Barry Walsh at the top as he slaps that down the line for a base hit. Mitchell cuts over, goes into the bullpen. No call yet of a dead ball. Regardless, it'll be a double anyway for Tab Tracy. Scoring is Hall, and just like that, smash and grab, Falmouth has a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, able to be active in early here in this second inning against Horn, and now he'll have to go back up against Walsh, who flew out to Earhart, who made a very athletic play.
Righty on righty here.
So Horn faces some adversity now as there's still another runner in scoring position, and that gets by Thompson, which will allow Tracy to advance to third.
Yeah, pass ball there. Again, Horn's movement is so great and his spin rate is so great that he's really tough on catchers, and especially the first time Thompson's seeing Horn and catching Horn, it could take a little bit of an adjustment period.
Pitch fouled away as it was an outside pitch on the first one. Now 1-1 the count.
Yeah, the spin, when you talk about it, it is just vanishing, is what you always talk about. His slider goes in various different directions.
Swing and a miss. There's that slider right there. Now 1-2 the count.
That slider spin rate over 3,200 on it, which is just ridiculous.
The 1-2 is low. Now 2-2 the count.
Yeah, and 3,300 on that one. Essentially, that means rotations per minute. How many times is the ball rotating into the plate? And typically, there's a correlation between that and a ton of movement.
That's on the ground to Hainline, and it gets through as Tracy will score. It's an RBI single for Walsh. Now 3-0 to Falmouth.
Yeah, with the infield pulled in, it was going to be a tough play for Hainline. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard, but the fact that he was playing in with his toes on the grass made it a lot harder because he had to react quicker, and it allows it to leak into right field.
Falmouth jumping on here early.
First pitch to Bazana misses, and now the count 1-0. Just like that, seemingly in the blink of an eye, on just a few swings, Falmouth has taken a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. As the 1-0 is low, now 2-0 the count on the Australian Bazana.
Now for Horn, just got to work out of this, get those next two with the bases cleared, except for Walsh, who stands at first. You have the double play possibility if you're able to get Bazana into the double play and trying to ground it there.
That would be a big one there, too. So ground ball is definitely something Horn could be looking for right now. As that dips right back into the zone, there's your spin rates again, as now it is a 2-2 count.
Now the 2-2 shakes off a couple pitches here from Thompson.
And here is the delivery outside. Now the count full.
Despite falling behind here, Hyannis has proven time and time again that they're a team that can come back and respond to adversity.
Here's the payoff from Horn. Runner goes, and the throw down to second not in time. Wouldn't have even mattered as Bazana works a walk.
Continuing to get traffic on the base paths behind Horn, who came in today with a 1.10 whip, but being challenged right now. So far had 2 on the bases in the first, and it's allowed 3 to score here in the home half of the second.
And quickly before Yannick can dig in, pitching coach Eric Luxus will have a conversation with Horn about how to navigate these next few batters, as it's been a 3-run inning here in the bottom of the second. Could credit some of it to good hitting. You could credit some of it to a defensive error by Elijah Hainline. It was a slap down into second base to the second baseman, had gotten just past Darren Horn, and the throwing error that allowed it to go past Zach York saw Gavin Turley score the first run of the game.
Once again, we were just talking about it. 3-0 Hyannis trails right now in the bottom of the second, but there's still a lot of baseball left to be played. So you just got to get yourselves in a position to get out of this inning and find yourself in that spot to be able to find answers to get runs back.
And you got to really bear down, especially if you're the offense, knowing that you have some work to do.
Here's the first pitch to Walker Yannick. There's a strike. That's a confident pitch from Horn.
And that's always what we've seen from our pitchers. After talking to Eric Alexis, is always a great response after that mound meeting. They always come back fired up and jazzed up to go back out there after they were slumping a little bit.
Horn's 0-1, swung on and missed. There's your sweeping slider right there. Quickly 0-2 on Walker Yannick.
And that's what you hope. Sometimes that's not always the case when the pitching coach comes out, but so far in this season, whenever Alexis has come out, he's always elicited a response from the pitchers on the bump to get them out of the jams 9 times out of 10.
0-2 to Yannick, fouled away behind the plate. As I can somehow see through the translucent fence out in left center field that it's Cross Sibley now warming in the bullpen for Hyannis. Also saw Tony Roby just getting a bit loose, but perhaps nothing too heavy as of yet, as the southpaw Sibley is out in the pen in case things get a little bit worse. As here is the 0-2 to Yannick. Swing and a miss, and yeah, there's your response if you're pitching coach Eric Luxus. A big strikeout of Walker Yannick for out number 2. Whatever he said worked.
Yeah, great pitch that just dove out of the zone there, completely deceptive. But now, again, you're going to have to face a lefty if you're Horn, so be careful.
That lefty is Tyler McGregor. Runners are on first and second as the first pitch is outside. 3 runs are in, but what we saw before the team really had turned it on, they like playing from behind. So the team has to know that, too, that they are not out of any game, regardless of whether or not they're winning it or losing it by 3 runs, as the pitch is low, now 1-1.
And you have the opportunity with Donay, Gazdar, and Mitchell after McCarroll's been seen now 6 times by this lineup. They're now thinking about what he's producing so that you're able to have that conversation, maybe try and get to the pitcher.
Pitch outside now, 3-0 the count on McGregor. See if he has the green light here.
Isn't that amazing? You're facing the bottom of the order for Hyannis, and there are 3 hitters that you just can't sleep through.
Yeah. Yeah, this lineup, you just can't pitch around anybody.
2 All-Stars.
Yeah, the 3-0s right down Broadway was taken. 3-1 the count on McGregor.
That's that lineup construction that you talked to skipper Eric Beatty about, is how he's able to skillfully put players where he feels like and where their skill sets best serve the team in key moments.
3-1 is a fly ball into center. Back goes Taylor, and he settles under it to make the play. Further damage averted. However, Falmouth gets the scoring started. They put 3 across, but we know Hyannis has that comeback gene in them. It starts with Donay, Gazdar, and Mitchell after this. We're through 2, 3-0 to Falmouth.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it. Did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Let's go to the 3rd inning. It'll be Brody Donay, John Gazdar, Nick Mitchell. Wait a second. Who is this? Hello there, producer Graham McNew. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
Doolittle just taking a quick hiatus. He's back. He'll be back in a little bit. But for now,
Yeah.
producer Grant holding the fort down with us.
With Mickey, I believe that there was a water leak somewhere that he had to take care of.
Ah, okay. So dual talented, a plumber man
Yes.
over here as well.
Right.
That's what we like hearing. He's got a lot of business to attend to. He's Mickey Doolittle. What can't he do? It'll be Brody Donay to start us off here in the top of the 3rd. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it through the hands of Eric Beatty. Down the third baseline, foul. Donay hit a 2-run double in the top of the 8th in the All-Star game on Saturday. It's a soft fly ball out into right center. In comes Tracy, a really long way did Tab Tracy come to make that play for out number 1. Could even say that might not even be his. Bit of a Kelly Leak job, but a really good play.
Yeah, Humphreys was on it and tried to get there, but feet were going a little too fast, spun himself out, falling to the ground. But Tracy, with his amazing speed that he possesses in right field, able to come in on the diagonal to be able to get that in shallow right center.
Now up steps John Gazdar. As the Harbor Hawks look still for their first base runner.
You know, that's why that play over there in center field, coaches will always be telling you, be aware, go to the ball no matter what.
Dunks in, 1-1 the count on Gazdar.
And provide backup. Be there in those situations. It might sound like it's a little tedious and monotonous at times that you're not really seeing any action.
Fouled away, 1-2 the count.
But those are the situations where if you have good fundamentals, fundamentally you're going to be able to survive it.
Yeah, and as an outfielder, too, like you said, sometimes it gets tedious and you get almost a little bored out there. Being able to just show off that speed every now and then is nice.
That's up the middle and through for a base hit. So there's number 1 on the day, and it comes off the bat of John Gazdar. We last saw him against Falmouth before the All-Star break, reached on an error, also singled. So game number 2 in a row against Falmouth with a base hit, and now 1-on-1 out for Nick Mitchell. That's the guy you wanted to get that hit, because here comes your lineup construction, Jacob Irons.
This is the lineup construction because you have Nick Mitchell and then Zach Earhart behind him with great speed and very good contact hitting. That Hyannis, when it rains, it pours.
At the knees for strike 1 on Nick Mitchell.
It's a wonderful song.
Oh, I call it the Luke Combs offense. It's a wonderful song indeed.
That is a name.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it.
Luke Combs baseball. As here's the 0-1 to Mitchell. It's away. This is almost, we see Mitchell, Earhart, Smith, York. That's the first 4 that we've seen for quite a bit of the season so far. It's just Mitchell put in the 9 spot today. So there's your construction, as Jacob Irons is talking about. As here's the 1-1. Dunks in for strike 2.
Yeah, Lipsy gets the day off today.
Mm-hmm.
Normally that 9-hole hitter, you're able to jumble up the lineup, but still Eric Beatty and the team in the dugout recognizing what has worked for them in lineup construction, trying to emulate.
1-2 is a chopper to second, could be 2. Darnell for 1. Oh, and Bazana drops it. It looked like there was a bit of miscommunication between Darnell and Bazana about whether or not Darnell would take it himself or flip it on. And then at the end of it all, it was dropped on the flip by Bazana and everybody's safe.
Yeah, and now with everyone safe, you bring up 2 on with 1 away for Zach Earhart.
And another reason why Mitchell being in that 9 is so, it feels so natural for Earhart, because he's always hit behind him this season so far. And now they've got a chance, and the chances are something you can't give Hyannis. As he's laid down a bunt, it's a good one. And that one is booted at third base by Hall. That's what Zach Earhart provides in the leadoff spot today. Bases are now loaded on a few errors and a few mishaps in the infield from Falmouth. Big chance here for Hyannis.
Big chance. That's what you talk about. Zach Earhart's speed is able to get down, and his perfect bunt getting that down the third base line. And it gets caught up in a little bit of the thick grass on that infield, and Hall there has to come in with the glove and use the glove to glove it, but gets caught before he's able to make contact with it.
First pitch to Smith catches the outside corner.
Yeah, and laying that down, it's all about placement. Just as much as it is about power and being able to pull back just in time. Knowing exactly what angle to take with your bat there is huge, and you saw that there with Earhart.
Here's the 0-1 to Smith. Tapped at the plate, foul right in front of us. 0-2 the count. Earhart no stranger to laying down a bunt. It was his bunt single against Bourne that got about around 15 to 17 games ago that got his season really started. Those are timely bunts. You could get a sacrifice or just reach it like plays like that. As here's the 0-2 to Cam. Upstairs at the letters. That's a tough take from Cam Smith. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, what makes you a good hitter is what you're able to swing at. What makes you a great hitter is what you don't swing at. That right there, Cam Smith showing that, playing disciplined batting.
1-2 with the bases juiced for Hyannis. Smith pops it up. Out goes Darnell. In comes Tracy to make the catch. Gazdar bluffs on the throw as the ball was far too short, just about a few feet off the infield. So Gazdar has no chance of scoring. So an unproductive out for Smith. That sends up York with the bases loaded now.
Yeah, Zach York exactly hewing up right now with 2 outs on the board. Hitting, I believe, .404 this season so far. So that guy, if you need a base hit, that's who you're looking to in this lineup.
York a little bit lower, 365.
Oh, he dropped.
Ugh.
York sees the first pitch for strike 1.
But nonetheless, you talk about clutch hitting. That's in Zach York's name. It's when bases runners are on, he does a really good job, especially when Hyannis needs him the most. There's no real stat that you can quantify, but he has that ability.
As he flies it down the left field line. In comes Turley. He settles under it and makes the play. So no clutch hit there as Hyannis leaves the bases loaded. We're through 2.5 from Gov Fowler Field. 3-0 to Falmouth.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You gotta come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, determine to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be? Be a bad mother.
That was in shallow center there, and you really look at how good it is. He does a great job of it.
So it'll be nobody on him, one away for Turley. Cross his first pitch fouled into the screen. In those 9 innings of work since July 8th, Sibley's only let up 3 runs. As we talked about, he's a guy who can go the short bit as well for the high leverage outs, as well as eat up some bulk in innings as well. He dunks that in, but just misses outside. Now 1-1 the count.
Well, now Sibley doing a good job to work batters and be attacking and be commanding and get out in front.
There goes the bat again. That's 2 in as many innings. As now, if you're Gavin Turley, you might really need the pine tar.
Yeah, would it not be a bad idea to run some pine tar there? Looks like he has this wood bat tape, though, which is interesting, which usually gives you a good enough of a grip to hang on to the bat there. But yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little stick and rubs it on there a little bit.
This might be a conversation that you're going to call him back over and have a conversation with his dugout to make sure that you're doing your due diligence, because, once again, you want to keep your bat in there because no one's a fan of it when it starts flying, especially get lucky here that there's a lot of netting here to protect everyone, but nothing's good when you get a bat up.
Eric Luxus, Eric Beatty, and B.J. Johnson all having a laugh with Gavin Turley, as that's now the second time in as many innings that he has lost the bat, and it's gone basically to the exact same spot on the dugout. Still no pine tar for him. He's sticking with it. So 2 pitchers have fooled him in as many innings, as it'll be a 1-2 from Sibley. That's slapped out to left field and deep, as Nick Mitchell's just going to give it a look. That ball's long gone past the scoreboard out in left center field. A solo shot for Gavin Turley. He comes back with a double off of losing his bat last inning. Now a solo shot here in the third. Now 4-0 Falmouth.
When he comes back up, you think he's going to lose it again? Because mine as well. It has always been the next pitch after losing it that he has been able to make solid contact. You look back in the second, gets that big double that was able to come around to score the first run for the Commodores in that second. And then here, lose it, next pitch, home run right over the left field fence. So Turley feeling it when he loses his bat there.
First pitch to Sean Darnell is upstairs.
Yeah, not to mention, it was a no-doubter. Mitchell turned around, took a couple steps, and then just kind of acknowledged like that ball was way out of here. So slaps a no-doubter after losing his bat the second time.
1-0 in there at the letters to Darnell for strike one. Flew out to left last inning.
Commodores right now coming out with a little extra juice here in this one after the All-Star break.
That's a fly ball to center as Taylor started stationary but takes about 3 steps back and puts away out number 2.
And Irons, to your point right there, with the Harbor Hawks having bases loaded right there with 1 out, that's a big momentum shift. You know that they're feeling confident after holding the Hawks, especially the way that we've been swinging before the All-Star break. Hold them to 0 runs right there, so you know that their confidence is just through the roof right now.
Yeah, I mentioned a little earlier, Nico, that this Harbor Hawks team is probably the team that wanted the break the least because it could knock you off your rhythm a little bit as Sibley misses upstairs. Because when you're in that feeling and in that swing and rhythm, you don't want nothing to stop you. So perhaps a little bit of a slow start out of the gates here through the first 3 innings, but talked about it earlier that this team likes coming from behind as Caleb Hall slaps one through the right side for a base hit.
This is the part of the lineup, this bottom third that did damage against Horn, and they're continuing to come in and have damage again. You look at Turley's home run, and then now you look at Hall. Once again, 2 lineups that are complete 1 through 9 on both sides in both dugouts today.
And now it's big for Cross because you want to keep this within 4. You want to keep it within slam range, and anything from here could make it get out of hand earlier than you want it to. So there is a bit of incentive to be thrown here for Cross as he chops the first pitch foul, does Tab Tracy. Not only to keep it within slam range just for himself, but for the offense to be allowed to get back into it as well.
Not to mention the role that he's probably playing today. You know, we spoke about it a little bit ago. We want him to eat up some innings here, and you know, having a higher pitch count here in this first inning, you know, could definitely affect later in the game.
Definitely.
This is going to be his 13th pitch to come.
Up there and in there. Now quickly 0-2 the count on Tab Tracy, who doubled and scored last inning. Runner off first is Hall, as here's Sibley's 0-2. Swung on and missed. Does hit the dirt as Thompson fields it and throws it to put away Tab Tracy. But one more scratch to Cross for Falmouth. A deep solo shot to left field from Gavin Turley gives Falmouth the 4-0 lead after 3.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell mama.
Let's go to the fourth inning as Hyannis has something to respond to here. No stranger to responses. They're down 4-0. They left the bases loaded last inning, so signs of life, but Ryan McCarroll works around it. So we're into the fourth now, a 4-0 Falmouth lead here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle, Jacob Irons, thank you very much for joining us wherever it may be from across the Cape Coast and country. It is about 6:52, exactly 6:52 here on the East Coast. We're just about an hour through, and into the top of the fourth we go with Hyannis trailing 4-0.
What a beautiful day for baseball right now. Sun's out. You feel comfortable. The dew point, although it's starting to creep up for the next couple days, is pretty nice. Wind's blowing out. It's a great day for a baseball game on Cape Cod.
Bennett Thompson takes the first pitch at the letters for strike one, and great field to be at, too. Gov Fowler Field. A lot of history around it.
Yeah, they date back all the way to one of the first teams.
Swung on and tipped into the glove of Yannick, 0-2 the count.
Yeah, you look at Falmouth, Hyannis, Chatham, and Osterville. Osterville, you could maybe push to Katuitt a little bit.
0-2 taken low.
Hyannis is almost kind of a Hyannis Katuitt type deal, too, back then. It was they were almost the same team, kind of. It was.
Yeah, you had Osterville, which was in Barnstable as well.
Yep.
1-2, Thompson stays alive, tipping it into the screen.
Get to have one of the two of the original teams squaring off here on this centennial season of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
I mean, what a season it's shaped up to be as well. Falmouth, what a team they've become. As here's the 1-2. It's a fly ball third base side and fouling out of play. This is a Falmouth team that was really down and out of it at the beginning. We talked about when we came here a few weeks ago that it was going to take them some time. They had the pieces. When was it going to turn on? As the 1-2 is chopped to third. Tough hop for Hall, and he can't handle it, and it rolls in front of the Hyannis dugout. It's a throw into second is smothered by Darnell. We'll see how they score. It was a very tough hop for Hall, but Thompson reaches to lead things off here in the fourth.
I'd imagine that's going to be ruled a single. It was a pretty tough short hop with Thompson moving down that first base line. But you mentioned Falmouth being really, really good on a hot streak coming into this one. They are 9-4 since July 8th. A team that has really flipped their fortunes in 2022. 2023.
Too low. First pitch to Elijah Hainline is low. As Hyannis in that same stretch, going 10-1-1, closing the gap to 3 points on Katuitt, as Hainline is buckled for strike one. But at that same time, Falmouth has found themselves into third place. I mean, Bourne, what a team it seemed they still are such a good team, but it's just all about circumstances here in this league. As here's the 1-1 to Hainline. It's on the corner. Now Bourne in fourth place as Falmouth has hopped all the way up a point above them.
Yeah, when you look at the West, it's Katuitt pacing with 47 points, Hyannis with 44, Falmouth with 36.
Hainline on the ground to second. This could be two. Bazana for one. Darnell, it was bobbled, still in the glove, but Hainline too fast for it to be two. The lead runner in Thompson has been retired, and Hainline reaches on the fielder's choice.
And then to finish out the West Division standings, you have Bourne with 35 in the four-hole, and then out in last place in the West Division as it stands right now. They would fall out of playoff contention with 26 points is Wareham.
And very quietly, Hyannis can clinch a playoff spot for the second straight year tonight.
As first pitch is low, there goes Hainline. The throw, just and only just did Hainline get his hand in there. It looked really close. And that's a bold statement there, too, to challenge the arm of Yannick on the first pitch, and he's just about successful.
Yeah, Yannick, All-Conference USA defensive team, a guy with a absolute cannon behind home plate, and he showed it off there.
And be aggressive here. That's what that stolen base shows me, is that Hyannis wants to try and
There
manufacture.
There he goes again, and this time there's no throw. 2 stolen bases and as many pitches for Elijah Hainline. And if you heard it to our left or if you didn't, that's going to energize the people, the players, and that's exactly what you need right now is a little bit of a boost.
Now with 1 away and a 2-0 count and a runner on third, that opens up a various amount of opportunities here.
Yeah, and almost just a lack of communication there. You got to be yelling as a defense, runner, runner, runner. No, 9 times out of 10 you'll hear it, but nobody letting Yannick know.
2-1 to Taylor. His line foul down the third base line. Now with 1 out, a fly ball deep enough scores Hainline for Hyannis' first run of the day.
Talk about responding. Hyannis trying to respond for the first 4 runs put up here by Falmouth early in this one.
It'll be a 2-2 to Taylor with Hainline off of third, and it's slapped to the right side. This will get the job done as Darnell comes over and fields to retire Taylor, but Hainline scores on the play. Productive out for Will Taylor. He brings in Hainline, and the Hawks are on the board now 4-1.
You think that run was manufactured?
I was going to say it is a really large manufactured run. You get Hainline on with the fielder's choice. He steals second. Then in the same thing, you move over and he steals third.
As Brody Donay grounds it just foul as Hall made a really nice sliding play, but it was almost right in the way of Joe LaBelle, the third base umpire, but he had the best look of it and calls the play dead now 0-1.
Yeah, backing up the entire way. LaBella watching it, whether it hopped fair or foul over the bag.
0-1 to Donay is upstairs. So a good response here in the top of the 4th from Hyannis, scratching their first across. They don't have to get them all at once. As we said, plenty of baseball left to be played. And Donay left that upstairs. Now 2-1 the count with 2 away.
Good hold there by Donay. A similar pitch up in the zone. That was called a strike, but it's able to see that one has a little bit more vertical lift on it.
Pitch to Donay is a high pop. This could be us, but it will just about stay in play as Yannick comes over just in front of us to make the play and end the inning. But on the comeback trail are the Hawks. They've started off well. They've gotten 1 run back in response thanks to an RBI ground out from Will Taylor. We're through 3.5 now, 4-1 to Falmouth.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. Hyannis gets 1 back, now down 3 runs. As Cross Sivley back out to work for Hyannis, just to keep this now within 3 runs.
And let's round out these standings that we started in
Sure.
the previous half inning.
Please.
The East right now, of course, YD remaining on top of the East, 20-14-1 with 41 points. That's good for 3rd best in the league. And then it's a logjam. Orleans and Harwich, only 3 points separate them. And then only 3 points to the next team, Brewster, at 13-20-2. And then Chatham rounding out the bottom of the East, who's still very much alive.
First pitch to Walsh, catches the inside corner. 1, 2, and 3 in Walsh, Bazana, and Yannick.
And of course, on the Cape, the top 4 teams from each division make the playoffs.
Slapped foul outside of first. 0-2 now, quickly behind is Walsh.
8 out of 10 teams, very unique system. Right now, Wareham and Chatham are the unlucky 2 right now.
But Chatham, like you just mentioned, Mickey, if they could get hot at the right time in these final 9 games, especially where they got a couple makeups in there as well.
Was way out in front on the slider was Walsh, but he's fouled at third base side.
Chatham right now is at the bottom of the East with only 22 points. Wareham's at the bottom of the West with 26. So Wareham has more points than Chatham, 4 more. And yet Wareham is 9 games out of the playoffs, 9 points out of the playoffs, and Chatham is only 6.
Outside, 1-2 the count.
And that just goes to show the strength of the West right now.
The West Division has been really solid in the middle and later part of July.
The 1-2 way upstairs.
Can you think about it? It's crazy. This is the last week of July. It's crazy how quick it crept up on everybody.
And it makes these interdivision matchups, especially between Hyannis and Falmouth here, that much more important as well. As here's the 2-2. He got him. Walsh down looking.
Great pitch from Cross Sibley on the outer part of the plate up against Barry Walsh, who has a great bat out of Boston College. Can provide great plate discipline as well. Ultimately, Sibley's able to work the outer part of the zone to get the strikeout.
First pitch is knuckled off the bat of Bazana, and it'll drop in over Gazdar's head for a base hit. He was locked up, and he had put in an inside-out swing, did the lefty, but just about put enough spin and enough juice on it to dunk in over Gazdar's head at short.
Nonetheless, he's able to get on and now provide traffic. That has been Falmouth Commodores today, is they're able to get on. It's how has the Harbor Hawks been able to respond with the traffic behind them on the bump.
They'll check back at first, and we'll quickly say that the play from off of Thompson's bat was initially ruled an error. It was changed to a single, so that will also change an unearned run to an earned run on the ledger of McCarroll. As first pitch misses to Yannick.
Yeah, first pitch strike so important here. Missed on that one, but Sibley is just so nasty that he can afford to fall behind in counts.
The fastball misses away. Now 2-0 the count on Yannick.
85 miles an hour there. Just missed away.
Middle infield at double play depth with Bazana leading off first, and there he goes. The pitch way low, and they knew, Bennett Thompson knew there was going to be no chance to get him as there was an off-speed pitch. Bazana jumped on it. No throw at all, wasn't even close. Stolen base for him.
And that's a great call by Thompson there to understand that you don't need to force the throw. If you can't make the throw and it isn't close, don't try and force the throw there to allow for more chaotic elements to happen.
He's still dancing off second, as here's the 3-0. Hard red, now 3-1.
65th stolen base of the year for Falmouth. That's good for second in the league.
They're aggressive on the base paths, and that's what makes it so dangerous when you get runners on for these Commodores.
The 3-1 slapped into right field in front of Earhart for a base hit, and he bobbles it. That's going to allow Bazana to score from second. There might have been a play, maybe even holding him at third had Earhart been able to corral it, but alas, he cannot, and Falmouth re-extends their lead to now 4 runs. 5-1 the score here in the bottom of the fourth.
That wasn't really Earhart's fault. He was charging in on it, was thinking about trying to dive for it or charge in even more to try and make the play on the fly, but decided to stop, and that ball completely died on the ground and shot out to the right.
As the first pitch is popped up in the infield, as Smith settles under it and makes the play. For out number 2.
With 2 away, Crescent just got to try and find a way out of this inning and get the bats back up for the Harbor Hawks to get them going in the top of the 5th to try and respond once again. It's one little adjustment the Harbor Hawks can make in the box.
First pitch taken down the middle for Humphreys for strike 1. And just keeping it here and keeping it at a respectable enough distance where Hyannis can strike back is going to be of the utmost importance from here on out. Long set from Sibley, and he'll check back at first on Yannick, whose RBI single has extended the lead to 5-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Again, Hyannis, no stranger to comebacks. They've had much bigger comebacks at much more clutch of times. As the 0-1 is on the ground to second, Hainline fields and puts away Humphreys for out number 3. But Yannick's RBI single, which scores Bazana, allows the 5th run to plate for Falmouth. They lead 5-1 after 4.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Let's go to the 5th. It's 5-1 to Falmouth as Ryan McCarroll's showing absolutely no signs of 2 days off. I mean, he's pitching flawlessly aside from the 1 run. What were you guys able to do? Barbie Oppenheimer guys over here, over in our 2 days off? I think I know Jacob Irons' answer.
I did.
Which
yeah.
one? It was Barbie, right?
Yesterday I saw Barbie.
How
yes.
was it?
It was good. It was
good?
weird. It was a weird but good movie. That's how
movie.
That's how I would describe it. It was a very solid movie. It wasn't what I was expecting a little bit at times.
Yeah. I want to see it.
Yeah, it was good. I want to see Oppenheimer.
I want to see both.
And I saw Oppenheimer. And
you did?
It was not weird. It was just mentally taxing.
Yeah,
and it was
I could
very,
imagine.
very good.
I can imagine.
And someone that was joining in on the off-day movie watching was Brody Donay and Bradley Hyannis. Ran into them at the South Dennis Theaters.
Hey. First pitch to Gazdar in there for strike 1.
Yeah, Entertainment Cinemas, and ran into them. I said, what's up? Talked to him today. I was like, what movie did you guys end up seeing? They saw Sound of Freedom.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1 to Gazdar. Outside corner in there for strike 2. That seems like another movie that, I mean, if only it wasn't coming out at this time, it'd be all the buzz.
It is quietly already made $100 million.
Really? Tipped into the screen. I didn't know that at all. Very quietly, clearly.
A lot of huge blockbusters coming out in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. That one, Spider-Man, came out just a couple of weeks ago.
Here's the 0-2 to Gazdar. Just outside. Good take from John. 1-2 the count.
And summers look like it will continue to be a really big blockbuster month.
Yeah. As John fouls at first base side, giving it a look is McGregor, but it reaches the seats. I feel like the box office has kind of needed this summer, too.
They do, but now the question is, now at the box office, can the strike go on for SAG-AFTRA and the writer's strike? How much further can it go? Because that's actively occurring.
Yeah. 1-2 is inside. John's worked back to a 2-2 count.
Great discipline by Gazdar here to work in a very solid at-bat.
Here's McCarroll's 2-2. Off speed, he popped him up, foul territory. Yannick loses the mask, and right in front of the dugout, he can't handle it. As him and Hall converge, there was no collision, but I think it was just the close proximity of the two players to each other that Yannick had to hit a knee. Maybe didn't see Hall, but regardless, the at-bat goes on after he's dropped it.
Yeah, that's a dangerous play with two fielders converging on a ball that both of them can get to, but it's just within their range. They're running full sprint right at each other, so communication is key, and a good job from them to communicate. Thompson calling him off and avoiding that collision. Couldn't end up making the play.
Gazdar lives to see another pitch, and he's chopped this one foul. Nice barehanded play by Nick Mitchell in the on-deck circle. Stays alive again.
That is some sublime movement there.
Tough on the hands. The 2-2 to Gazdar. Upstairs, now the count full.
We talk about these Hyannis hitters coming in and having great control of the strike zone, and Gazdar is certainly one of those guys. We talk about York all the time.
3-2, and it hits him. How many we got? Are the mines still fresh from 2 days ago?
53.
53. Nope, they're right on it. These guys showing no signs of all-star fatigue themselves. So a really good at bat from Gazdar ends up in about the most likely fashion in Harbor Hawks to the Harbor Hawks name, and as John is hit with the pitch.
Now, assuming Brewster was not hit by a pitch tonight, Hyannis now has a 17 hit by pitch lead.
Wow. 17 more hit batsmen.
They are cruising for a bruising, literally.
Yeah. First pitch to Mitchell dunks in for strike one. But how important is this? First off, the cruising for a bruising. That's probably more important than what I was about to say. That was awesome, Jacob Irons. As it'll be an 0-1 to Mitchell with Gazdar leading off of first. And it's dropped. That'll allow Gazdar to take second, double play out of order. Now what I was about to say, far less important than cruising for a bruising, is that there's nobody out. Now a runner in scoring position for your natural 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters. This is the chance for Hyannis, it seems, to try and get themselves back into this a bit.
It somewhat does, and I think that's why you have that movement of Gazdar being aggressive there, not understanding that the ball gets away, but being aggressive to go up. You can look at his stance about 2 feet away from the bag right now. Is he being aggressive on the lead?
That's lined into right field, and it's a base hit dropping in front of Tracy. It was hit a bit too hard for Gazdar to think about scoring. So he moves up to third as Mitchell rips a single to right. That brings up the top of the order. First and third, nobody out for Earhart. Hawks in business here in the fifth.
This is the question with McCarroll. How much longer do you want to give him? Because now this is going to be the third time Earhart will come up to see McCarroll here.
And we've said it plenty of time about how much the average goes up as you see a pitcher more times through the order. As the pitch to Earhart is upstairs.
Yeah, 78th pitch right there for McCarroll. So still flirting around the line.
Beat me by a second. I was about to bring out my calculator.
Mental math, Mickey.
Yep.
Mental math.
Always wins. Pitch to Earhart is tipped into the screen. 1-1 the count. So 5-1.
That is an easy one.
5-1 to Falmouth. Now with runners on the corners and nobody out, top of the order in the box and the rest lurking, Hyannis has the chance to get themselves back into it.
Don't be surprised as you see Mitchell.
It's on the outside corner for strike two.
Be aggressive on the base paths, especially with how he stands at first. That allows the double play to be opened here. And with Mitchell's speed, second in the league in triples with 3.
As there he goes, as it was a designed hit and run, as that's pretty Hyannis of you, but it's fouled away, and Mitchell will have to go back.
Mitchell got a great jump on that. That's a shame that that was fouled away. He was home free towards second.
And there's your one con of the designed hit and run, is that could potentially happen. As here is the pitch, it's upstairs, 2-2 the count.
I don't know if that was designed. I think it was mostly protection from Zach Earhart. He didn't exactly have a full green light to swing away, and he had to swing away. I think he was mostly protecting.
2-2, there goes Mitchell again. The throw down to second in not even close to amount of time. The pitch was a ball, so now the double play out of order again. Count is full on Earhart with first base open.
Yeah, and there you see it. Hyannis, not a hit and run, just giving Earhart his leeway to swing away if need be in a 2-strike count.
And Turley, the left fielder's playing a very deep left field
Yeah.
right now, allowing that opportunity to drop in shallow.
Here's the payoff. It's a weak ground ball fielded by Hall, just slightly booted, and it goes past the first baseman McGregor and into the chain link fence. Both runs will score as Earhart moves up to second, and just like that, Hyannis back within 2 runs. Cam Smith coming to the plate, and Earhart stands on second.
That was a fascinating play at third base between Hall and Gazdar, who's running towards third. Hall had to go around Gazdar to get to the ball. Nothing called by third plate umpire Joe LaBella, so no harm, no foul for the Harbor Hawks there. But now, with a bunch of momentum at their backs, we're going to have a mound visit.
And now you talk about a 5-3. Now it's a 2-run game again, and Hyannis gets a little bit of rejuvenation here.
Not only that, now there's still nobody out. That's a tough play either way by Hall. Again, he's had a tough game at third because he's just been eaten up again by Earhart on the bunt single, and now there as well, just an infield single for Earhart, showing that his speed can wreak havoc. The throw was wide of first, and that allows him to reach second. So now again, no natural double play. Earhart in scoring position for Cam Smith, who's loved hitting here. Smacked a first pitch of the game home run a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
and they'll allow Earhart to advance off the air, and then ultimately you'll have Mitchell be able to score. That will be unearned on the throwing error there.
So Gazdar will score an earned run, and as Jacob mentioned, it'll be Mitchell scoring an unearned run. They'll give a single to Earhart, and he advances to second on that same error that Mitchell scored on. So the runner is on second as Earhart. That brings up Cam Smith. One swing ties this game now. As here's the first pitch to Smith. It's fouled first base side and into the seats as McGregor gave it a look.
And now it continues to be very tricky situation for McCarroll here with Smith up. And you'll look at great speed in Earhart, allowing that ability to tag up as well.
Surprised they're even pitching to him. Dangerous as a guy that he is. Zipped straight in right down the middle now. Quickly 0-2 ahead is McCarroll. Score is now 5-3 after all of that, and still nobody out for Hyannis with the meat of the order coming up. One of them standing in there in Cam Smith as the 0-2 is smacked foul down the third base line. Barely even saw that off the bat.
Smith brings a 17-game hitting streak into this one and has hit .406 during that time. That is the longest hit streak in the league this year. But 0 for 2 so far.
0-2 is upstairs. 1-2 the count on Cam Smith. Has a big opportunity to show out in front of his family who's made the trip up. Cam's crew was at the All-Star game as well. 2 RBI for him in front of his family at the All-Star game at Harwich.
Yeah, they're here for a couple more days
Yeah.
here.
1-2 is a fly ball to center field and deep. Back goes Humphrey, still back, gives it a look. It's gone! Cam Smith ties the game. 5-5 the score. Hey, have a day in front of your family, kid. A 2-run shot to center field for Cam Smith. We're tied.
Yeah, it's an off-speed pitch left on the inner part of the plate against Cam Smith, and he puts that one to the deepest part of the park, having it travel 407 feet.
Wow.
That's out in majority of MLB ballparks to dead center. A great pitch that he's able to go attack on, sends it over on 102 exit velo, and that might do McCarroll's night tonight as he gets the pat, and that will do it for him today. It's now a new ball game tied at 5 apiece.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
We've got a new ball game here in Falmouth. All of a sudden, just like that, it is a 5-5 game as they decided to pitch to Cam Smith. And, well, Cam Smith teaches him a lesson, taking Ryan McCarroll deep and ending his day. 5-5 the score, and now a new pitcher for Falmouth.
Yeah, they pitched to Cam Smith, a decision that we pointed out as certainly a decision. He had that open base at first, but ultimately you did want to get ahead, and he did. It was a 0-2 count that Smith was able to work back to 1-2, and then ultimately sent one 407 feet over the center field wall. But, you know, that's just an average Monday for Cam Smith.
407's average. Good to know. Good to know.
Is that a lot?
It's an average day at Gov Fuller Field for him. I mean, he really loves hitting here. Saw that pitch from McCarroll and really spoiled what was a pretty good day up until this inning. Just the one run last inning, but now what seemed to be a very dominant day to start off goes down as one where he may not even get a decision.
Yeah, Kyle Bloor now comes in from Tennessee Wesleyan College. The Bulldogs, an NAIA, has appeared in 21 games for them. This will be his first of the summer for Falmouth.
First pitch to Zach York. That's some first guy you have to face on the day. Is tucked inside.
Yeah, guys that can pump a lot of speed, 95 miles an hour on his first pitch to York.
At the knees, now 1-1 the count. Yeah, McCarroll retired the first 7 in order. Got out of a bases-loaded jam in the third. As here's the 1-1 to York. It's low. And then only allowed a run on just one hit last inning before a blow-up inning here in the 5th.
And this is all happening still with nobody away.
Yeah.
In this top half of the 5th.
2-1 to York's on the ground to first. A kind hop for McGregor to deal with and put away York for out number 1.
Yeah, good job by McGregor reacting to that. A little bit of a tricky hop. It might have come up a little bit taller than he thought. But good play to put that away. And finally, Falmouth has gotten an out.
And Bloor does a good job. That's what you want to do if you're coming in relief, is just get it out and try and block a hole on the runs that are starting to come in here for the Harbor Hawks.
Thompson takes the first pitch for strike 1. Gazdar gets hit by a pitch. Mitchell reaches on a single. Earhart reaches on a single. And Cam Smith sends a shot out to the dead center field as it's a hard ground ball to short for Bazana to deal with and retire Thompson just in time. Did Bazana get it there to retire Thompson for out number 2. So 2 quick outs in relief here for Bloor.
97 miles an hour off the bat there, and that just goes to show baseball sometimes a cruel game. You could hit the ball extremely hard and only be trotting back to the dugout moments later.
So 2 away for Hainline. Seems like an entirely different inning now as Hainline chops it at the plate foul. As we just mentioned, the first 4 runners all reaching. All capped off by the Cam Smith 2-run shot to the deepest part of the park in center field. Here is the 0-1 to Hainline. It's inside.
Hainline able to score the first run in the 4th for the Harbor Hawks. The manufactured run, fielder's choice, 2 stolen bases in the same at-bat of Taylor.
He was out in front of that and tipped it into the screen. Now 1-2 the count.
And then was able to come around and score on the fielder's choice, like a ground out by Taylor to get the first run. And now 4 runs here on the top of the 5th for the Hawks.
It'll be a 1-2 to Hainline. Bloor sets and deals, fouled into the screen. Well behind it, but good to keep up just about with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It'll be a 1-2 again to Hainline. Bloor deals, off speed, gets him swinging. But we're halfway through this game, and boy, what a different game it is. All capped off by a Cam Smith 2-run shot. The Hawks score 4 in the top of the 5th. We're halfway through a brand new ball game here from Gov Fuller Field. 5-5 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in the club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
So let's go to the bottom of the 5th now. Cross Sibley back in, and his day, Cross Sibley's day and his role just changed way more, because if you stepped away for the top of the 5th, well, you chose the wrong inning to step away, as the Hawks have now tied the game, scoring 4 in the top of the 5th to make it a 5-all ball game at the halfway point here. Now, Cross Sibley, it wasn't just about him being able to keep them where they were. Now it was before. Now he's actually got something to pitch for here. He could even earn himself a decision.
But he'll have to go up against Gavin Turley, who had a home run and a double already today.
It's bunted up the third baseline, but trickles foul.
But now also with Gavin Turley, he has lost his bat twice today.
Yeah.
Got to keep your head on a swivel here, guys. It has came this way, down just over the third base dugout where the Harbor Hawks position themselves here at Gov Fuller Field.
So, yeah, if you're Cross Sibley, you almost don't want to fool him too much, because he loses the bat, and, well, he might hit himself a triple and be a single away from the cycle now.
This is what Grant McNew likes to call the cycle watch he's putting on right now.
Yeah. So a double and a home run in as many innings.
You're not on cycle watch until you're 3 of the 4 ways there.
I agree.
That's cycle warning. There's a step up. You have your watches, then you have your warnings.
Okay, the weatherman Grant
in the
inspiring us
We're
again.
from the Midwest. Look at us.
Yeah, the meteorological system is how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Here's the 1-1. Buckles him, and this time doesn't swing, so the bat does not disappear. So it's a 1-2 count on Turley.
Now the 1-2 on that lower part of the zone. Able to get it.
Swing and a miss. Turley down swinging, fooled on back-to-back pitches. Cross Sibley feeling himself here in the bottom of the 5th.
That was a filthy change of speeds. He had him about a minute and a half out front there, just reaching for it. Great pitch from Sibley.
Up steps Darnell. So Turley down, Darnell and Hall, the next two due up. It's on the ground up the middle, ranging to his glove side is Gazdar, and it bounces and boots off of him and trickles into center. Would have been a tough play for Gazdar either way. With his range, he makes those plays look easy 9 times out of 10. But this was that 1 time out of 10, and all fielders have those. But it'll be Darnell who reaches now 1 on and 1 out for Hall.
But that's a tough play anyways. It's directly up the middle. He just had it. He got there in time, but it just takes a nasty skip on the lip of the infield dirt on the grass up over his head.
Here's Cross's first pitch to Hall, and it's fouled away. First base side out of play.
And once again, talking about it, it will be ruled a single, not an error.
It'll be an 0-1 to Caleb Hall as events coordinator Mackenzie Kielblock joins us right beside, giving a wave to the cameras. They check back at first.
We provide her phone power. That's the only reason why she's over here.
Listen, anything for some Mackenzie Kielblock camera time, right? As it'll be an 0-1 now to Hall with Darnell leading off first. Fouled into the screen. Quickly 0-2 is Sibley ahead on Darnell. Or excuse me, on Hall.
Now Sibley ahead in the account 0-2. Look for him to use something out of his repertoire that's not the fastball.
Sibley deals, was there off speed, even below 70 miles an hour. When he can pump it in close to 90 and then even dip it below 70, yeah, you're about to be a minute and a half out in front if you don't expect it. As the pitch missed outside, it'll be a 1-2 count now.
Left fielder Mitchell's playing pretty far back.
No doubles defense out and left as it's ripped into shallow left field, and it'll dunk in for a base hit. Rounding second, but staying is Darnell. So maybe spoken into existence did Mickey Doolittle. So now 2 on and 1 out as Halls dunks one down the left field line.
And
I know a thing or two about baseball.
Yeah, dropping it in. Now you get 2 on with 1 away, but here in this opportunity, still have the double play that could end this half inning for the Hawks, still tied at 5.
It brings up Tracy, a lefty-on-lefty battle as he squares to bunt but pulls back.
So that's 2 straight singles, but the first one was an infield single, and the second one was a little jam shot into left field. And now we're going to have a conversation at the mound between Thompson and Sibley.
Now this is Sibley's 3rd inning of work now. So this is about what we were thinking he would get asked to do. We often see, and we talk about often as well, how much these managers here on the Cape want to string the 3 innings together. The first third, the middle third, and the last third. As Horn could not get into the 3rd inning, so that is where Sibley comes in. And you definitely want to be getting at least these next 2 outs out of him. Through the translucent fence, there is movement and warming in the pen. Can't quite see who it is. As the 1-0 is bunted down the line. Smith fields, throws, not in time. So Tracy beats out Smith's throw. It's a bunt single, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Walsh as the lineup turns over.
Great play by Smith that came in charging high on the grass, comes over, was able to glove it, flips it up to himself to make a throw over, just couldn't beat the speedy Tab Tracy down the line. Now bases loaded. You'll bring in the corners here to touch the grass, especially York, who's firmly on the grass.
And Eric Beatty does come out. It may be his time to go to Cade Obermueller, who is warming up in the left field bullpen. No signal yet, and now he does point out to left field. So Sibley will depart with the bases loaded. It's Cade Obermueller's game from here on out. It may be his only 2 outs, but it's going to be a big 2 outs at that. We'll tell you about Obermueller and his season after this.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Big spot here in this game for Cade Obermueller to open up into. Cross Sibley has left the bases loaded in a now tie game. So Obermueller comes in to looking to get a big 2 outs, and he has come through all season long, hasn't he?
He really has. Out of the University of Iowa, sports a 2.84 ERA through 12 2/3 innings pitched. It's 21 strikeouts to 5 walks, but also part of his duties for the Harbor Hawks is being part of the grounds crew team as well. Guy that comes in early before BP, lines the field, rakes it out, and especially in the early part of July when we were getting all that rain, he was out there religiously making sure the field was in playable condition. So now he able to help the field back at home, but now comes out on the way, not having to worry about that a little bit.
Might have needed to mop up some of that rain on the field a couple of weeks ago, but here he's going to have to mop up a bases loaded situation
Good one,
and
Mick.
try and hold this tie game.
I think Coach B.J. Johnson would be proud of that one, and perhaps a little bit of earthing out of Cade Obermueller. Just to be one with the baseball field.
Yeah, the earthing, walk on the field with your bare feet just to ground yourself.
Oh, the best of the Matt Carpenter days, man. He was the one, I mean, to me at least, he was the one who popularized that for me. And the coverage of it on the S Network.
It's able to get your mind right, feel the field. Obermueller has his cleats on here, settling in to try and work out of this jam. But once again, you have bases loaded, you have 1 out, so the double play still is a very real possibility here.
So this is where Hyannis has thrived with these pitchers in the bullpen roles. They have kept them in these games. They have worked back to tie it with 4 runs last inning, but Falmouth Commodores are in serious business here in the bottom of the 5th, looking to break that tie. It is up to Obermueller to work out of it. The bases are loaded, and the first pitch to Walsh is a heavy cut and a heavy miss. Now, a quick 0-1 count for Walsh.
Yeah, high velocity there, 91 miles an hour, fastball to start things off.
So the runners on, the bases loaded will be Sibley's responsibility. As here's the 0-1, another hack and another miss. That fastball was lively, running into out on the hands of Walsh. Quickly 0-2 is Obermueller ahead on Walsh.
This is why you bring in Obermueller for this exact situation, to be ahead against Barry Walsh, a really strong batter.
In a strikeout situation with a strikeout guy.
The 0-2 tried to change the eye level. That was some heat as well, but it's upstairs, now 1-2.
Yeah, up at stairs at 92 miles an hour, seeing how fast and how far he could be able to get him to reach outside.
Big at bat here in this game in the bottom of the 5th. Tie ball game at 5 with the bases loaded for Falmouth. Obermueller sets and deals. He just missed on the outside corner. Hyannis fans thought he got that pitch, but just outside, now 2-2 the count.
Good take there by Walsh to try and elongate this at bat, and now working himself back now into a 2-2 count.
Seen a fastball and a slider. Now what does he go to? Does he go back to that slider?
Nope, he went to the fastball, and Barry Walsh tips it into the glove of Bennett Thompson. That's a high energy out. High life on the fastball as well. Big strikeout for Obermueller, 2 away.
Yeah, but job's not done yet. Bazana comes to the plate having reached in 2 of his 3 plate appearances and a single back in the 4th.
I didn't want to make you sound wrong there, Mick. That was just my initial reaction, just in that he didn't go back to the slider. As it's 2 away for Bazana as he takes the first pitch high. Really did juice up Barry Walsh with the fastball. But now Bazana, one of the toughest hitters to get out in the entirety of the Cape League, stands in with the bases loaded at the dish.
We got a baseball sky right now.
Oh, yeah. Baseball temperature, too, as Obermueller tries to rise the heat. As the 1-0 way up, but Thompson stabs it before it can get to the screen as Obermueller pats his chest to say that was on him.
Yeah, a little bit of a misfire there. Maybe slipped out of his glove a little bit.
The bases are still juiced full of Falmouth Commodores here in the bottom of the 5th for Travis Bazana. 2 away, and the pitch fouled into the screen. That's a big strike there, because if he doesn't throw that, he does have to throw it, and I think Bazana knows that. No strike there. It's a 3-0 count with nowhere to put him. Now instead 2-1.
Have a 2-1 count, and with Obermueller's ability still very much in this spot.
Obermueller rocks, sets, and deals the 2-1. In there beneath the letters, now 2-2 the count. He's a strike away from getting out of it.
A perfect fastball in the outer third of the plate, able to catch Black. And a pitch that he did not have a chance to drive at all.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 5th. Obermueller deals. Just dropped. It was a foul tip that Thompson could not squeeze. And Bazana lives by the closest of margins to see another pitch.
Yeah, Obermueller went with the off speed at 83. The question you have to imagine, might want to try and gas him back up here.
It'll be another 2-2 pitch. Obermueller deals low, and now the count is full with nowhere to put Bazana with the bases loaded. Got to throw him one here.
Yeah, breaking ball at 80. Hitting the dirt before it goes into Thompson's glove. Full count. Have to imagine you're going to come into the zone here with bases loaded for Obermueller with 2 outs.
Big pitch, huge pitch in this game. Here's the payoff. He's just missed on the outside corner. Boy, that one could have gone either way. And Obermueller has walked in a run. And depending on what colors you wear, you may see that call go 2 different ways.
And great take there by Bazana in that spot. Able to bring in Darnell to score. But you have 2 outs. You're only allowing 1 here as well for Obermueller to go up against Yannick.
Yannick stands in. You said it, Jacob. What a take. What an at-bat, too, as now Falmouth retakes a 6-5 lead. I mean, that is some pitch to lay off of. He was frozen. As the first pitch to Yannick is low. So 1-0 the count as Bazana now stands off first. His walk has untied the game and given the lead back to Falmouth. Now 6-5. Falmouth has scored in 4 straight innings now. So here's the 1-0 to Yannick. Swing and a miss. Juiced him up. Now 1-1 the count.
2 straight fastballs, but Yannick still late on the second one as he's going to take a walk here, readjust his batting gloves, and try to get a little bit earlier on the next one. And it's going to be a
clock violation
on
Yannick.
On Yannick, who took a walk, didn't use his timeout.
So he was not in the box by the 8 seconds as the rule requires. So it is now a 1-2 count as Joe LaBella, the third base umpire, called it. Now here's the 1-2. Ripped into left field. It's a base hit. There's 1 run. Coming around third to score is Turley as the throw is offline. It's a 2-run single for Yannick. And now Falmouth leads 8-5.
Big response here. Harbor Hawks able to get 2 outs with the big strikeout of Barry Walsh. But then Yannick comes through in a big clutch. But it's been a back and forth game so far today.
Baseball, a game of inches. That foul tip into Thompson's glove, if that was maybe made contact with just maybe a centimeter less, this inning would be over and we'd still be tied. But Hyannis still very much in this game.
First pitch is mishandled by Thompson. It was outside to McGregor, but nobody advances.
Yeah, it looks like he got crossed up. He's going to come out and talk here. Going to have a conversation about maybe signs, especially with that runner at second, Bazana.
Quick conversation that elicits Thompson already back behind the plate with Obermueller. Just got to find that final out here in the bottom of the 5th.
McGregor is at the dish in a 1-0 count. Obermueller deals outside. 2-0 the count. That was about where the full count pitch was to Bazana that allowed the walk that scored the first run. So runners are off first and second. 3 runs have now scored here in the bottom of the 5th. Big response from Falmouth to the 4-run inning of Hyannis's, as that's just low. Now 3-0 the count on McGregor.
Hormula just needs to take a breath here. Just trying to rush it, it feels like a little bit in his rhythm and getting onto the rubber and getting set.
Taking a bit of time here as he goes through signs with Thompson. As Labella checks his sign, it's a double steal, but it's taken upstairs by McGregor. Bases are now loaded again, now this time for Humphreys, the 9th batter of this inning.
Batted around. Another conversation with Thompson to come out to Obermueller on how they want to attack Humphreys with bases loaded. For Falmouth looking to tack on and get a couple more.
Now again, this becomes a huge out because one to the outfield could score 2 and make it a 10-5 game. It's 8-5 and 10-5 sound like a lot, look and sound like a lot too different of scores. As the first pitch zipped in with life for strike 1 from Obermueller. Bases are loaded for Falmouth here in the 5th. 3 runs already in, 8-5 the score here from Gov Fowler Field. 0-1 wave and a miss, pulled the string, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 is Obermueller.
Yeah, 79 mile an hour off speed there. Obermueller ahead 0-2 here, just trying to work out, get the 9th batter up back into the dugout.
It'll be an 0-2 to Humphreys. Obi deals. Did he go? Yes, he did. So a big strikeout to avoid further damage, but 3 runs have scored. Falmouth has retaken the lead, and after 5, it's a topsy-turvy roller coaster of a game, and it is 8-5 now to Falmouth.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
To the top of the 6th we go. It's been a fun game here from Gov Fowler Field. Myself, Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle, and Jacob Irons bringing you all the action from Gov Fowler Field in an 8-5 game already here in the top of the 6th. I mean, we saw Hyannis respond for 4 runs last inning. We've got to do it again.
Offense galore between the both teams so far in this one early. But Hyannis, like you talked about, is going to have to try and respond here in this spot after you were able to get 4 in the top of the 5th to tie it back up. You allow 3 to plate in the bottom half of the inning. And now you feel a little bit more pressure as you get later and later into these games.
I mean, but this is a team that is a second-half team, and we've seen them respond come these hours of the game, Mickey Doolittle.
And now Bloor back out for his second inning of work after coming in after Falmouth gave up those 4 runs with nobody out, set down the first 3, and now is in line for the win.
The Whale calls are out for Will Taylor as he leads things off here in the 6th. Bloor's first pitch misses, and now that's so big because we talked about in the 5th with McCarroll about facing him for the 3rd time. When Gazdar comes up, it'll be the 2nd time he faces him as the pitch is outside to Taylor. So you're getting a reliever in, but you're seeing him multiple times, which is huge for this lineup that needs to come back from a deficit. As here's the 2-0 to Taylor. High pop-up down the left field line. Into foul territory goes Hall. And he overran it, and it bounces foul. He was up against the screen and had to reach back. So perhaps he overran it, misjudged it. Regardless, Taylor lives to see another pitch. The count now 2-1.
Taylor gets a little bit more of the lucky bounce and a lucky break there, especially for Taylor, which you want to have that ability to keep him in the box with his speed and his great contact he makes on the ball.
He batted in the lone run in the 4th inning. As a pitch way high, Taylor has to turn away. Now 3-1 the count. Bloor sets at the belt and deals, and it's popped up foul again behind home plate. That'll run the count full. That's probably ball 4, a bit high, but depends on where that goes.
Yeah.
It was in the zone.
Yeah. We got TrackMan up. We've got that. We've got the luxuries now. I don't have to guess anymore from our position here down the third base line. As here's the payoff to Taylor. It's ripped into left field and down for a base hit in front of Turley. A clean single for Will Taylor to start off the top of the 6th. Whale calls out again.
And that's what you want out of your leadoff hitter after allowing 3 to plate in the bottom half of the 5th is get on. Work a little bit of traffic here, and that's what you're able to do with Brody Donay up.
And especially with a good amount of speed in Taylor. Hyannis, not a team that wants to steal too often. 9th in the league in stolen bases as a team, but Taylor's certainly a guy that poses that threat.
Did he go? No, he did not, says Marvick Gomez and Ryan DeMara about Brody Donay. We see him hacking early in these at-bats, but he holds up there. It'll be a 1-0 count to Brody with Taylor off first. The pitch is low. It's a guy you got to pitch around, as we saw him in the home run hitting contest. Also smoked a 2-run double to the deepest part of White House Field. So when he gets that bat on the ball, it's loud and it's dangerous. As here's the 2-0. Dunks in for strike 1.
Looks at a breaking ball at 78 on the upper part of the zone. Does a good job just playing a little bit of that Jeter mentality there of looking for the first strike from Bloor.
Here is Bloor's 2-1. It's way low. Good block behind the plate by Yannick. Now the count 3-1. Hitters count for Donay.
You guys and your Yankees,
man. Oh,
man.
yeah.
Too much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a real thing, though, is a Jeter at bat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Just happens to be that he's the one attached to it. As here's the 3-1. And it catches the outside corner. Donay sure didn't think so. Is in the zone, though. Thank you, TrackMan. As it is in the zone, count is now full.
Now with a full count here for Donay. He's got to battle in.
Here's the payoff. It's a fly ball down the right field line. Over is Tracy. He dives and he can't make the play. He missed the ball down in right field. Taylor rounds third, but he is held as the throw came into Darnell. The Whale calls out again as he wheels into third base. It's a double for Donay, perhaps channeling his all-star game type of at-bat. He sent that down the right field line, though. Great back control from Brody there as he dunks it just in front of Tracy. Now 2 runners in scoring position. One swing gets this to a 1-run game with John Gazdar at the dish.
Yeah, and that's the power of Brody Donay to all different fields, able to drive it down the right field line opposite way, 91 off the bat.
Yeah, it's a hooking fly ball down the right field line, putting it in a tough spot.
First pitch to John is upstairs.
Now this is going to elicit a little bit of movement in the Commodores bullpen as well down the line. Still nobody away here in this top half of the 6th with 2 on.
91 to the opposite field is something. As John sends one to short, this will score Taylor. As Bazana fields and throws. And he's safe. I barely saw it, but that's a... But John reaches. Ryan DeMara has called him safe. Home plate umpire Marvick Gomez stood right in my way. I couldn't tell if the throw got there or not. But it's a safe call at first. Taylor scores either way. But that's important now because there's first and second, and now still nobody out as opposed to just the one runner on. But John scores Taylor, now 8-6.
Yeah, the foot of McGregor came off the bag there, allowing on the throw for Gazdar to be safe.
Mitchell pulls back a bunt, strike one. Yeah, Merva Gomez was right in my way. I could not see. So thank you very much for you guys and for picking up from my angle.
So now for the second straight inning, Hyannis has gotten their first 3 hitters on base.
Mitchell bunts here. It's a good one. They'll throw it just to first. Mitchell was booking it down the line, but he is called out as Bloor puts him away. Sacrifice is successful, and now there are 2 runners in scoring position. Deep to the outfield, into the gap from Zach Earhart. It ties the game.
Yeah, in the top of the lineup here, a bunch of situationally extremely smart hitters in Earhart, Smith, and York. And that's why you lay down the bunt. You get that tying run into scoring position. You just want to pick up at least 1 here.
Pitch inside to Earhart.
With Earhart, his great ability to get solid contact into the gaps.
Here's the 1-0. Dunks into the zone. Now 1-1 the count on the Oklahoma State Cowboy. Scores 8-6 now after Taylor scored on the infield single from John. Low and away from Earhart. So Donay stands off third and John off second. As here's the 2-1 to Earhart. Dunks in again. Now 2-2 the count after the off-speed. Fools and buckles Earhart.
Great take there by Earhart to hit pitches that he wants. He doesn't need to try and force himself out of the zone.
2-2 is low. That's a good pitch, too. Though it's well out of the zone and clearly a ball, that's one that you see some hitters go fishing on.
Yeah, just dove out of the zone there. Earhart doing a great job. You could tell he's kind of started his swing, but stopped it just in time.
Here's the payoff. It's low, and that brings up Cam Smith, who we already know how dangerous he is, but it only gets more dangerous with the bases loaded and nowhere to put him.
Those are 2 great takes from Earhart.
Yeah.
Both of those off-speed pitches low in the zone, nearly the same pitch twice in a row, both at 80 and 81 miles an hour respectively, and that loads the bases for Cam Smith.
His 2-run home run last inning tied the game. First pitch to Smith is inside.
And if you're Bloor here, have to be very poignant on the pitches you give to Smith after saw him hit a home run already today.
Here's the 1-0 to Smith. He's fouled it, first base side. McGregor over, still over. And did he make the catch? He did, right up against the screening. He went, it was to that side and just out wide of the dugout near the pitching screens, and the dugout juts back in right where he makes that play. So he puts it away. That's a really tough catch, and now 2 away for York.
Yeah, off by the camera well there, does a good job to know the dimensions, and that's what it gives to be at home, especially for McGregor, knowing how much distance he has to be able to get over there and make the throw, pushing the netting away.
Swing and a miss from York. Don't see him do that too much, but that's a really good pitch. So 0-1 the count now on York as Bloor looks to work Hyannis into leaving the bases loaded for a second time. He leaves that one low. 1-1.
In York, a guy, again, situationally smart hitter, able to understand a situation, knows he doesn't need to launch one here, just get one down for a base hit.
1-1 ripped foul, now 1-2 the count on York. 8-6 ball game here in the top of the 6th with one run already in. Donay off third, Gazdar off second, and Earhart off first. Pretty good speed all around on the bases with York at the dish. Here's the 1-2. He pops it foul, and we'll do it again.
This is what York is doing so well. Elongating this at-bat here, trying to keep himself in the box, understanding how important this at-bat is for Hyannis to try and respond here in the top of the 6th.
Ball to the outfield most likely ties the game. 1-2 is upstairs. Now 2-2 the count.
Just gone fastball slider in the last 2 pitches. That fastball wasn't located well. The one that York popped foul. It was center cut at the letters. Pitch that he can drive. Don't want to throw that again.
The 2-2 way upstairs, and the count runs full with nowhere to put York.
Yeah, and this is the hitter that you want up more than anybody in a 3-2 count with 2 outs and the bases loaded. A guy that has a ton of control of the strike zone, able to understand when a pitch is even an inch off the strike zone.
Here is the payoff to York. It's upstairs. That is a walk. That allows Donay to score, and it's a 1-run game. The base is still loaded now for Bennett Thompson.
And that is exactly what I just talked about.
Yes.
York, a borderline pitch that was more out of the zone than it was in, able to lay off of it and draw the walk. And now they're still loaded with only 2 outs, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
Yeah, just in time for Bennett Thompson, too. He can make some name for himself here. Could be one heck of a first impression to Hyannis colors, as that will end Bloor's day as the Hawk calls are breaking out behind us. We'll send you to a break and tell you who the pitcher is after this.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Parker Coyle comes on to try and get a big final out here in the top of the 6th. 2 runs have scored. It is an 8-7 Falmouth lead by about the slimmest of margins 1-run leads can come. And as Parker Coyle warms up, he'll face Bennett Thompson with a chance Thompson has to make one heck of a first introduction.
Yeah, Parker Coyle out of the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, and the Razorbacks has a 2.45 ERA through 18 1/3 innings pitched. Has struck out 17, walked 4. He's given up 19 hits. Very solid pitcher that comes in from a stacked SEC that has a large innings in numbers of work already this year for the Commodores. And last was on July 18th at Chatham. Pitched 2 innings.
So the bases are loaded and 2 away for Thompson. Gazdar off third, Earhart off second, now York off first. A base hit could give Hyannis the lead with Earhart's speed off of second. First pitch zips straight in there for strike 1. About as center cut as it gets. 0-1 the count on Thompson. Base is full of Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 6th with 2 runs already in. The 0-1 is a soft little chopper as it's flipped onto second by Bazana the short way, and that will retire Thompson on the fielder's choice. The bases are left loaded, but Hyannis chips away once again. Despite leaving the bases loaded, they score 2 runs and make it an 8-7 game after 5.5.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Cade Obermueller back out to protect now a one-run deficit. After last inning, he squandered the lead back to Falmouth. Now has a one-run deficit to work with to keep Hyannis in this.
This is a back-and-forth game. If you like offense, welcome aboard. So happy to have you with us because you're finding the game for you. Some of the best pitchers in this league. Right now, you look at Darren Horn, considered one of the best right now in starting his second game start. First start was really solid, but got hit around a little bit. And then whenever you keep going into the bullpen, after maybe that first time through the lineup, hitters start figuring out pitchers' rhythms.
And this is the fifth time that these two teams have seen each other. So perhaps with time, typically in the sport of baseball, hitters tend to figure out pitchers the more times they see them. So at the end of the day, I believe that this is a case of these two teams seeing each other a lot, and the hitters have seen the pitchers a lot, and you see the offensive results. And we'll have one more Falmouth-Hyannis matchup this season. That comes exactly a week from today here at Gov Folder Field.
So in the bottom of the fifth, it was Falmouth, as here's the first pitch. It's fouled into the screen by Turley. In the bottom of the fifth, Falmouth sent 9 to the plate, and this past inning in the sixth, Hyannis sent 8 to the plate. So Turley is the same man who leads off the fifth inning here, leading off the sixth. In a one-run contest, 8-7 the score in favor of Falmouth. Swing and a miss. Turley tied up by the slider. 0-2 the count. Obermueller quickly ahead.
In the last 3 half innings, these two teams have combined for 9 runs.
It has been a really strong game in the box for both teams.
0-2, swing and a miss. Yeah, they're those unfair at-bats again. Safe to say Cade Obermueller's feeling himself now, as it's good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
There has not been a scoreless half inning since the top of the third.
And beat me to it.
Oh.
All kinds of offense here today at Gov Fuller Field, and we're still only in the bottom of the sixth.
21 hits combined between these two teams, and we're only in the bottom of the sixth.
Don't need the calculator for that one. There's a good pitch from Obermueller.
It took me concerningly long to add 12 plus 9.
But then also you have to look at this here. We've just crossed into 8:08 here on the East Coast, so now approaching the 2-hour mark of this game.
0-1, there's a strike on the inside corner. Now 0-2 the count.
Obermueller doing a great job commanding the zone with his fastball and off-speed pitch.
0-2 to Darnell, just low.
Breaking ball that sinked out of the zone on a little bit of a 3/4 sidearm release.
Obermueller's 1-2. Swing and a miss as down goes Darnell swinging. 2 swinging strikeouts in a quick 2 outs for Cade Obermueller.
Nasty pitch there. Off the plate away, able to get the swing and miss. Foul tipped it into Thompson's glove, but 2 away here, and Obermueller quickly through.
We have to go up against Hall, who's been able to get on base. It's 3 times he's entered the box for the Doors.
First pitch is fouled. Watch your lips in the first base dugout as it's fouled first base side out of play.
Right into the netting, sending a couple players back down into the entrenched dugouts here at Gov Fuller Field.
The 0-1 is a soft line drive into center field and falling in front of Taylor for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Hall brings up Tab Tracy.
Have yourself a day, Caleb Hall. Single came around to score in the second, single in the third, single in the fourth, now a single in the sixth. Have yourself a day. He's been able to get on base through multiple different pitchers now for the Harbor Hawks. Not just he has one number, he has been able to make great contact today.
The first pitch to Tab Tracy, squares to bunt but pulls back.
Interesting with 2 outs.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a drag bunt attempt. Probably just trying to get those corners to come in a little bit.
I'll see Cam here start to inch forward here a little bit as well to go along with it.
Squares again and takes low again.
Smith currently playing just off the grass at the third base position, with Gazdar playing a couple steps away and shaded towards second base with the lefty Tracy up.
Obermueller stepped off just to watch back Caleb Hall. As now it's a full square, but he pulls back as there goes Hall. Throw from Thompson does not get there in time. Was close, but a stolen base for Hall puts him in scoring position. Great throw, though.
Yeah, great jump by Hall that was able to get it off a little bit.
Second stolen base of the day for the Commodores. A team that loves to run.
Pitch was called a strike. So the 2-1 outside again. It's been a square every time in this at bat so far from Tracy. He's worked his way up to 3-1.
Sanier maybe playing a little bit more of the mental game with Obermueller, who is commanding the zone, missing out with the bunt shown a little bit.
The 3-1 pulls back, and it's just high. So Tracy walks. That turns the lineup over back to the top for Barry Walsh.
Yeah, after cruising through the first 2 hitters of the inning, finally Obermueller running into a little bit of adversity, but still only 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning.
So first and second, 2 out for Walsh. Mass Kid goes to Boston College. There's a good slider in there for strike 1.
Plays a talented outfield, Walsh does, and great bat. Good person as well. Very personable.
It'll be an 0-1 to Walsh. Obermueller deals well upstairs. As Walsh is now going to be seeing some time with Boston College, as he was behind Sal Frelick, who, if you're on the socials and watching the Brewers play baseball, had one heck of a debut. Had a nice call-up video as well. Those never get old. As the 1-1 is well inside, and it gets past Thompson. Both runners will move up. So that makes this situation even more precarious for Obermueller. It'll be treacherous stepping to pitch to Walsh, as a base hit to the outfield will extend the lead back to 3.
For Hyannis, this could be huge if you could get out of this inning without allowing a run to cross. That would be the first time Falmouth has not scored since the bottom of the first. That would be huge for them, and to allow them a little bit more time to try and respond and get into the top of the 7th and try and tie this thing back up.
Pitch tipped, and it catches a good chunk of home plate umpire Mervic Gomez. And it'll be a 2-2 count, as Thompson will take a second to allow Gomez some time.
Great job once again. You talk about the veteran officials keeping their face in where that is your best protected aspect.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, and both in scoring position here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Obermueller's 2-2. It was knuckled foul down the first base line. Good kick to it as well, as it hit the gravel warning track.
Now with a 2-2, take a little bit more of a sigh of relief, but they're going to shift over Earhart here a little bit down the right field line to be a little closer for the hooking Walsh.
Obermuller sets and deals the 2-2. Fouled right first base side and out of play once again.
It's a great adjustment by skipper Eric Beatty in the dugout on the hooks he's seen thus far.
Also been good adjustments by Walsh, too, to be able to keep himself alive. It'll be another 2-2 count as Obermuller sets at the belt again. He breathes, and here's the 2-2. It's a fly ball to right center. Over is Taylor. He's under it, and he makes the play. Huge out for Cade Obermuller to strand 2 runners in scoring position. See if the Hawks can do it once more, and they face a 1-run deficit as we go to the top of the 7th, 8-7 to Falmouth.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Let's go to the 7th. It's an 8-7 Falmouth lead. Elijah Hainline will lead things off for Hyannis. The All-Star was the only Harbor Hawk to not appear in the 6th inning, so it'll be Hainline, Taylor, and Donay. It's been an up and down, top and bottom, topsy-turvy game from Gov Fuller Field so far. Only in the 7th, too. Plenty of more twists and turns to come.
Yeah, and Hyannis feels like they've been playing catch-up the entire time, but finally drew even, and then Falmouth came back and took the lead once again, and then Hyannis struck back and closed the lead down to 1. So we're back and forth here. Tug of war from the jump, and Hyannis looking to come out on top.
So as Elijah Hainline steps in, I take a look at least at the out-of-town scoreboard. You wanted Hyannis to win, as here's the first pitch to Hainline, big hack and a miss. You needed to win this game, or you needed Wareham to lose to clinch that spot. Well, it's gone final at Doran Park. Bourne have beat Wareham 7-1 as the pitch to Hainline is up and away. So whether or not they know it, Hyannis has clinched themselves a playoff spot. So we congratulate them now, and hopefully congratulate them later on a good win as well. As here's the 1-1 to Hainline. It's low.
They didn't wait till the last minute, did they?
No, they are able to have a little bit of time.
And I think this team is set on more important goals.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Like catching Katuitt for that 1 seed and then winning in the postseason.
And now Katuitt has also been defeated by Brewster.
Ooh.
So as the 2-2 comes in to Hainline, completely tied up, he swings and misses. So a win here tonight for Hyannis brings them within 1 point of Katuitt.
Yeah, and considering how far down they were a couple of weeks ago, that's quite the comeback. Katuitt relatively has been playing worse, but they've still been playing really good baseball.
Exactly. Katuitt has been able to breed a culture.
It's hard to stay on top of a team that's won 10 of their last 12.
Yeah. Chopped foul. I mean, the only way to do it is go win 11 of 13 yourself.
And that's what the Harbor Hawks have tried to do, is they've responded for Katuitt to the best of their ability.
0-1 is a high pop. To the screen it goes, and it will just make its way out into the scouting section. One of the scouts was really close there, had to duck and cover. Taylor is quickly behind 0-2.
See, those are the ones that might land on top of this tent.
Don't
right
say
here.
that. Don't say that.
We need this tent
I'd
for
like
a couple
that.
more games.
I
What?
know.
No.
The pop fly would not break the tent.
Oh, it's just scary for me.
I think you're not. I think it could.
0-2 is upstairs.
I think it could. Like you think about it's not. It's a very thin tarp. It's not like.
You won't see
Yeah,
me,
right?
You won't see
It
me
would.
in here if
Thank
there's
you.
a ball close. As here's the 1-2 to Taylor. It's pop foul, first base side. Over is McGregor. He turns, and it drops in between him and Tracy. It looked like it had a bit more carry than McGregor initially thought, and he got turned around. So he stays alive, 1-2 still.
Yeah. Handyman Grant McNew does confirm he does think it would fall through if it was to
Handyman
get to
Grant.
that situation. So I can be confirmed in my beliefs.
Oh, you wouldn't see me anywhere close to this tent if there was a ball. If I lost that ball underneath our tent, I'd be running. I'd be running away. Here's the 1-2 to Taylor. Swing and a miss. Taylor down swinging.
84 out in front of it a little bit there. Now, great response here from Coyle, who has come in and has done his job really well to try and retire Harbor Hawks, but he still has to go up against Donay.
Hack and a miss. I mean, that's a tomahawk if I've ever seen one from Brody Donay. Quickly down 0-1 to Coyle. He was buckled on that one as well, so he's quickly behind 0-2.
And with Donay coming in, has 8 doubles, second in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Just great gap power.
0-2 is taken low. 1-2 the count on Donay.
As well as aggressive on the base pass. If he's able and thinks he can get to 2, he most of the time will try and stretch it out. That's how he's able to have 8 doubles so far already.
Swing and a miss as it hits the dirt. As Hyannis comes out to field and puts it away as Coyle strikes out the side. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Time to stretch here in Falmouth. 8-7 to the Commodores.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky. Because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
All about it. Tell mama.
The bottom of the 8th. Falmouth still holds an 8-7 lead as Hyannis came close once again. Twice had runners on third. One of them was cut down trying to score, and then in the form of John Gazdar. And then on the fly out by York, Zach Earhart stranded there. So Hyannis has had their chances, but not quite just yet. As we go to the bottom of the 8th with Falmouth up, having a chance to once more extend their lead as David Case out for his second inning of work.
That Case back out for another inning of work here to try and do the best of his ability to work through this as quick as possible in this home half of the 8th to get the Harbor Hawks back to the top of the 9th to try and tie it up. Case is going to have to try and work effectively and efficiently to try and keep the bats hot for the Hawks.
It'll be Turley to lead things off. He made the play to retire York to end the top of the 8th. As Case's first pitch zips in but misses outside. It's been a real fun game, just going back and forth as all 7 of Hyannis' runs were scored in the middle third of the game as the 1-0 curveball loops in and has Turley swinging at wind. A run in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. The 2 came after Falmouth retook an 8-5 lead. As Turley saw that one, but still a little out in front. His count is now 1-2.
It's going to be Thompson, Hainline, and Taylor due up in the 9th for the Hawks. Trying to get at least one across in a game that feels like it's lasted a long time, and we're coming up on 3 hours here.
Fouled away, first base side. Just misses the lights on the right field, or down the first base line. And we'll do the 1-2 again.
Has just been so much offense and so much in this game alone when you look at great defensive plays, great pitching at times as well. It's just been a great game to watch.
There was the curve again, but this time Turley saw it coming, and it's a tough layoff. And he does so well to make it a 2-2 count.
Big spot here and a great battle in response from Turley to tie the count at 2 apiece. Case has to go attacking here, though.
2-2, he went straight back to it. It skips away from Thompson, but he fires down to York to make sure that the strikeout is finished off. So Turley goes down swinging. His 3rd strikeout in his last 3 at-bats after hitting a double and a homer in his previous 2.
Yeah, breaking ball at 74 miles an hour was below the zone, broke out of the zone. Perfect location, good strikeout pitch. So now you just got to get these next 2 guys and hope your offense can put up some runs.
The first one of those 2 guys being Darnell, who takes a pitch at the knees for strike 1. Caleb Hall awaits on deck afterwards.
And the Hawks are certainly capable of that. They've really not rolled over in any inning in this one. Well, they have, but
So foul ball down the third baseline and into the bullpen.
Nonetheless, they've shown their ability to hit.
They haven't. They've done a great job responding to whatever Falmouth has given them. Although it might have been an inning later, they've done a good job of trying to stay within reach of Falmouth. They're not going down without a fight.
0-2, just stuck the bat out in a defensive swinging effort and gets it foul. We'll do it again.
Yeah, a little bit of a protective swing there from Darnell. With an 0-2 count, want to keep his at-bat alive to the best of his ability.
So it'll be an 0-2. It feels like we haven't even said for a while that Hyannis has had to respond. It feels like they've been in front for all of these games, the past 13, 14 games. As it's chopped on the ground to second, it dies on the lip, but Heinlein adapts nicely to get his glove dirty and make a nice play for out number 2.
Yeah, very nice play. Good adjustment mid-play by Heinlein. Again, this middle infield has improved so much throughout the year, especially since Gazdar and Heinlein have come in. These two have turned more double plays than we can count. Guys that obviously, clearly have some great chemistry in the middle infield.
Now, if you're Case, you've been able to sit down the first two. Now, can you get through Hall here to the best of your ability?
Upstairs to Luke Heyman.
Looking ahead towards the playoffs, Hyannis is a team that can offensively hang with anybody in the league. In pitching, with the turnover that they have,
as there's a strike,
that's going to be a little bit of a question mark because we know this offense can and will put up some runs. It's just that pitching, can they limit opponents enough, especially with the great offenses in the West right now?
1-1, dunks below the knees.
Like Falmouth, like Catuit. These are all teams that they're probably going to have to face.
Hyannis tried to answer that, picking up a couple new pitchers today that weren't active but are on their roster.
Zips in right at the letters as Heyman didn't like it, but it's called a strike. Now 2-2 the count.
And really, when you look at all the teams across Cape Cod are in the same situation where pitchers are starting to get shut down now after a season of play. They've went to their innings, but now it's trying to find those postseason arms that's going to be so difficult.
2-2 is fouled away. We haven't even questioned the pitching this season, but now, as you say it, Mickey, it's because of all the turnover on the rosters, as the All-Star break is normally the point where you see guys depart, and if they don't stay for the playoffs, that's why their school is calling on them just to stay done now, and now let's give you a little bit of rest. As here's the 2-2, it's fouled away again.
Which I know that he's an offensive player and it's different.
Yeah.
But that makes what Cam Smith is doing right now that much crazier because he has played in every single game for Hyannis, barely even coming in as a replacement. I don't think he's pinch hit in a single game. He started pretty much every game.
2-2 upstairs.
Am I right in that?
I think so.
I'd have to look back, but
you're safe in saying that.
He's
for sure.
been replaced in a couple of games in the 6th or the 7th inning in blowouts just to give him a little bit of rest.
And here is the payoff. Did he go? Yes, he did. A big strikeout for David Case to end things. A 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts, one of them being there to Heyman. Last licks for Hyannis, 4, 5, and 6 in their order to try and scratch one across and send things to the bottom of the 9th.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Big top of the ninth here, shipping up to Boston. You need the energy here, Jacob Irons. You Notre Dame guys love this song. Got a time for them to channel their fighting Irish spirit here in the ninth to scratch across one run.
Yeah, they're going to need to use every spirit and every ounce of energy they have here to try and respond here in the top of the ninth. It's not out of the equation by any means, but it's going to be a big spot for the Harbor Hawks to try and get this one.
Yeah, we call them the Cardiac Hots for a reason because they love these close games, coming in this year at 8-2 in one-run games.
It starts with Bennett Thompson, who's in his first game with the Harbor Hawks. As here's the first pitch, catches the outside corner. It's been some performance. Regardless of how it ends for Parker Coyle, it has been some performance from him.
Yeah, 2 1/3 innings. Has not given up a run yet.
Fouled back behind the screen. Quickly 0-2 on Thompson.
He's going to go up against his biggest test here, the heart of the Harbor Hawks lineup.
Of course, he inherited the bases loaded back in the sixth and got the final out there.
The 0-2 to Thompson. Outside, despite the frame job from Heyman behind the plate. Here is the 1-2. Thompson fouls it back again.
Thompson doing a good job just fighting off pitches here. Once again, in this spot, although you only need to be one, it's got to be an assembly line, especially with this part of the lineup that is really good at making contact and getting on base in the speed.
The 1-2 again is ripped down the line, but a slice is foul. Got all of that, but not between the lines.
Yeah, 97 off the bat. Got an off-speed pitch down in the zone. Able to sit back on it, but not sit back quite long enough as he got out in front of it.
So good fight so far in a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses. Dirty pitch to set down Bennett Thompson for out number one.
Great pitch. Way out of the zone. Thompson went out swinging for it. It's a big out for Coyle and this Commodores team. So I'll bring up a pinch hitter and Alex Lane to come in for Elijah Hainline.
So Lane has become more of a platoon guy to hit in these kinds of situations, and this is why you want him up. And in his last 10, he's looked pretty good coming off the bench as well. So this is the situations where you want to call on him in.
Yeah, Lane also tied for second in the Cape Cod Baseball League with 8 doubles as well. A really solid bat. And this is what he's been so good at so far for these Harbor Hawks down this hot stretch of them. He's coming in off the bench when they need a player.
Lane takes the first pitch on the outside corner, strike one.
Yeah, and in these situations specifically, they set him up for success every time. He faces a lot of lefties, and he can really hit them.
Tipped at the plate, quickly 0-2 on Lane.
288 on the year, 5 runs batted in.
Yeah, he just fights in the zone every time.
Blocked at the plate, 1-2 the count on Alex Lane, the Northeastern Husky.
Heyman's going to take his time here before throwing back to catch his breath a little bit to when that got in on him rather quickly.
It'll be a 1-2 to Lane. Coyle winds and deals inside.
Lane was ready to wear that one.
Yeah.
He was ready to let it hit him in the thigh, but ultimately runs inside, but not that far inside.
2-2 to Lane. Inside, he's worked the count full, with Taylor awaiting on deck.
0-2 to 3-2, and this is what Alex Lane does.
Count is full on Lane. Here's the payoff from Coyle. He swings and misses. Dirty curveball. Hawks down to their final out.
It's a great job to come back in that situation after allowing a guy to come back into the count, get it to 3-2, locate that off-speed pitch below the zone, and get him out.
So the Hawks' last hope is Will Taylor. Only one loss coming in their last 13 games was at Cotuit back on July 11th.
Called strike.
Taylor takes the inside strike on the corner. The 0-1 is a fly ball to center. Ranging over is Humphreys. Still back. He reaches up and makes the catch. Ball game. And it's after a topsy-turvy, crazy fun game. At the end of it, and eventually after all of it, Falmouth takes it home. 8-7, your final from Gov Fuller Field. Handing Hyannis their first loss since July 11th and only their second in the last 14 games.
Once again, although they lose, still feels like they fought till the very end, showed great discipline, showed great fight, showed grit. This is a team that played complete. They just allowed one run across, and they just couldn't respond ultimately down the stretch, but still have to hold your head up high here if you're the Hawks after this one. Able to put up 7 against a really good Falmouth team. That's very encouraging heading into the playoffs. And once again, summer baseball, you get to play Chatham tomorrow.
Yeah, in one-run games, typically it kind of is a 50-50 thing. Sometimes they go your way, sometimes they don't. Hyannis has had a lot of these one-run games go their way, so it was kind of bound to happen eventually that a one-run game wouldn't go their way. But ultimately, a good effort, especially from the offense, scoring 7 runs on 11 hits, and Hyannis is back at it tomorrow.
And now they can't take advantage of the Cotuit loss, so they stay only 3 points behind. And despite it not being the way they wanted it to, they can still look at the bright side and say they've still clinched a playoff spot. So congratulations to Hyannis. They have clinched the second of the 4 playoff spots in the Western Division. But despite the playoff clincher, they do still fall here tonight. Any final thoughts, fellas?
Go at it again tomorrow. That's all you got to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, win tomorrow, then have a great game at Hartford.
Yeah, Hartford coming up, but first, we've got Chatham at Veterans Field tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and that's when we'll see you next. So thanks so much, everybody, again, for tuning in with us here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. For Jacob Irons and Mickey Doolittle, for our producers, Josh Schreiber, Grant McNew, and Nico Sharp, my name is Michael Kersing. Oh, and of course, how could I forget the 4th member of our team, Bria Losick? For her as well, my name is Michael Kirsting, saying so long from Gov Fuller Field, and thank you very much for joining us here tonight. 8-7 Falmouth, your final. We'll see you tomorrow from Veterans Field.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations. With 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future, T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.